Good morning. We're coming to you live from the Achimota Complex. This is Accra, Ghana, the home of the 13th edition of the African Games. And up here we have the bronze match. It's Uganda against Kenya, an East African derby of sorts. This game, big on paper, big anywhere in the world, arguably the biggest derby in Africa. And I tell you what, to get this game started, my mate, Dennis Athamusali, one of the voices of this tournament, was out there in the middle with the two captains. And let's hear what transpired.
The curtain raiser match at the 13th African Games is a bronze medal contest between two East African teams. Uganda taking on Kenya. We're out in the middle for the toss with the two captains, Kenneth Weiser for Uganda, Rakeb Patel for Kenya, and the tournament match referee, Mr. Owen Kirombe from Zimbabwe. Uganda the home side, so Kenneth will be doing the tossing. Heads it is. Kenneth, tell us what you're going to be doing and why.
Yeah, I have a baton. I think if you put one on board here, it's very hard to come second and chase.
All right, this is very important for you guys as a group. You're probably excited to be in the afternoon game, but what is the inspiration for you in the morning to make sure you go back with at least a medal?
For us, it's just simple to come here and put the cricket that we know that made us the World Cup. So we are the boys come here and just play hard cricket and play positive cricket.
All right, any changes to the team from the one that lost in the semi-final?
Yeah, two changes. Fred comes in for Cyrus and then Robo for Buya for time.
All right, good luck to you and the boys.
Thank you.
Rakib, I'm sure you'd have wanted to bat first as well, but what is going to be your plan now that you've been asked to bowl first?
I think the same when the way we played the semis, I think trying to restrict them under 140. The semis we gave away extra runs, hopefully that we don't do it today.
All right, what do you think is going to be a good total to restrict Uganda to so that you have an easier second inning?
Around 130, 140, that's what we're looking for. I think, and it gets better in the afternoon as well. If you see the semi-final, even it got better, the pitch got better, so hopefully 140, 130, good score to chase.
They took you down in the group match, but this is all important. There are higher stakes. There's a medal at stake. What has been your inspiration coming into the game?
There's a lot of the environment which is good with the players, and they're looking forward to this game. I know bronze is we'll give everything we have. It's the last game for the tournament, so as a team we're just looking to give everything we have.
All right, any changes from the team that lost to Zimbabwe?
Just one change. Peter Koech comes in.
All right, good luck to you and the boys.
Thank you.
And that's the news from the middle. Uganda have won the toss and they've elected to bat first.
You heard it from the two captains there. Dennis Athamusali having a share of thoughts with the two captains. Uganda captain Kenneth Weiser winning the toss and doing what Uganda love to do first. It is to bat first. Rakeb Patel telling his coach he would have loved to have bat first. But these are the warm-ups. And I'm not alone in the comms box. I have got Eli Tawanda, bring the love from the city of kings and queens, Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. Eli, just take us through your thoughts as the teams warm up, and Nav Patel right there in your frame.
Well, it's a good morning from wherever in the world you're watching this broadcast from, be it on Fan Code, Sports Eye, and other varying sporting channels. It's all to play for a medal that is on the cards, bronze. Both teams would have loved to be playing for gold, but however, they came short in the semi-final. They have one more day to do battle in the 13th edition of the African Games, going through their paces, hoping today they can put in one final effort and end up on that podium with a medal around their necks. It's all to play for. Uganda choosing to bat first, hoping that they can be able to overcome the demons of the pitch from the previous game, their semi-final, and put up runs on the board. It's the 13th edition of the African Games, the first time that cricket features as a discipline. The curtain is about to come down on the show, and today's first game is one of those few and final moments of this edition. will be joining the teams shortly for the anthems. But I tell you, here are the teams as they stand. Roger Mkasa at the top with Simon Sasazi. I'll be hoping that they can do well today, put runs on the board. Kenneth Waiso, the stand-in captain, as well as Danish Nakrani. They'll be looking towards him with both bat and ball, as well as Alpesh Ramjani. Miyagi Juma did well as Cosmos Sheota looking to find form, both of them coming back into the squad. They'll be hoping that they will get their bearings right today and be going at full steam. Bilal Hussain as well, man known for bowling those Yorkers. He also plays a vital role. Henry Senyondo as well as Fred Achilema make up the Ugandan side.
You look at this Kenyan squad, you got to look at the oldest man on the team, and that is Collins Oboya. He will be batting at the top today alongside Nel Mugabe. They featured in a 50-run partnership in that semi-final against Zimbabwe. They were chasing 197, and the two looked in good nick. Of course, Collins Oboya getting to 52 from 29. Nel Mugabe scoring 20 from 17 there. But the man they're grooming to be the next keeper and the next skipper, Sukhdeep Singh, will come in at one down. The captain himself, Rakeb Patel, one of the leading run scorers in associate cricket. They are in the mix. He's not had so many runs in this tournament. He will look to do well today. Nelson Mandela, Odiambo, Shem Ngoche have been around this squad for a very long time, and they'll look to make hay and go back home with something to smile about. Lucas Ndandason Oloch is the vice captain. Emmanuel Ringera, the man who picked up a couple of wickets in that semi-final. Vishil Patel, Peter Kowech, and Nav Patel. They are effectively the future of cricket in Kenya, with Vishil, the former under-19 captain. That's the guys there. Fred Achelam in your frame is coming to the tournament. He was under the knife. And I tell you what, he's getting a chance to play here. If he does well, maybe he could keep the young Kakuru out because he's the keeper batter. One of the two changes in Uganda's team, with the other young boy, Ronald Lutaya, the left-hander, left out for Robinson Obuya, who took some amazing catches earlier on in the tournament here, especially in that match against South Africa. And these Ugandans have a very well-documented build-up to the World Cup. They would like to end here with some good consolation. A bronze medal, to say the least, for Kenya. They have mixed the old and the new. They're trying to usher them into international cricket, and they can do well. Rakeb Patel there with this blend of youngsters there, including those guys you did talk about, Gerard Mutoi, who is sitting out today, alongside Gurdeep Singh and Francis Mutua. Of course, Ugandans will have a taste of Nav Patel for the first time at this level, but this is the summary of these African Games. 54 countries, 29 sports, and 9 venues. Listen to the anthems for now. Uganda's dugout right there in the frame. That man, Craig Williams, will be hurting. His team has had a no-show with the bat. 2 back-to-back matches. They did struggle to chase down 95 against South Africa in the semi-final. It needed the last ball heroics of their captain, Brad Mark Masaba. He will be asking the guys, please shoulder some responsibility. I can only coach. I cannot go out there but for you. Nelson Mandela right there in your frame. Sukhdeep Singh, the youngsters, Peter Kowech, the Nakuru Express, and that man, 18-year-old Anav Patel, who will be playing the senior men's team for the first time. He's got a 5 in the tournament. He was the reason why South Africa were never able to beat Kenya in the group game. The circle of trust for the Kenyans going on there. They look in good moods. A lot of smiles there. Peter Kowech donning the biggest of them all as he puts on his arm sleeves. Lucas Nanderson, number 91, vice captain of the team. He will lead the bowling. Left arm fast. Shem Ngoche, left arm orthodox spinner in the side. Lots of experience in this squad. A couple of these guys have played in the World Cup. They should know what it means to play in a match of importance like this one.
Both of them, they occupy the log standings of most sixes in the tournament. Roger Mkasa at number 3 with 6 sixes to his name, 14 boundaries, while Simon Sesazi has 5 sixes and 12 boundaries to his name. And we're hoping that can just aid them.
The last 7 times this team played, if you look at the last 5 in this particular tournament, on the opening in Kenya by 91 runs. At the World Cup qualifier, they also did win by 33 runs and by 1 run in the Continental Cup T20 Africa final last July, and as well by 5 wickets in one of the round-robin matches there. Like they say, it does take 2 to tango. The 2 teams from East Africa will be up in arms. And here's ball number 1 with Lucas Ndanderson Oloch. Let's play.
Short and it's immediately pulled away. And deep backward square comes into play immediately. Runs on the board for Uganda. They get off the mark.
Setting out a trap for him down in a deep square leg. Kenyans have a plan going on here. They know that every time these 2 have gotten off on a flyer, they have never had a chance to bounce back into the match. Simon Sesazi on strike now.
Simon Sesazi has a strike rate of 156 in the tournament. 4th leading run scorer. While his partner, Roger Mkasa, on the other end, is the leading run scorer in the tournament. 205 runs to his name.
Wides it will be Ale freebies for Uganda. Simon Sesazi, of course, in the last match, they are getting to 2,000 T20I runs. He's on 2006, the first and only Ugandan to do that. The man is literally touching immortality.
Let's work leg side. That'll be another single. So both batters off the mark. They have opened their runs account. It's just funny how both of them are part of the top 5 leading run scorers in the tournament, and they're playing in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. I would have been hoping as leading run scorers they should be playing in the final. Edge, but it will fly away to 3rd man. Just coming off a thick outside edge that probably should have been maybe 4th slip region. But in T20 you can't afford to have so many slips in play.
Both of these teams, they don't even need any motivation for such a fixture. Kenya, once upon a time, the big brothers of Uganda, they will still want to call themselves that, but the last results don't say anything like that. Simon and Roger Mukasa continue to exchange strike.
And the man in your frame, that's Lucas Ndanderson. He has done well also in the tournament. He's amongst the leading wicket takers in the tournament, 5 to be exact. That's the number that he occupies with 8 wickets to his name. His best figures are 5 for 20.
Lucas, a very handy bowler. Out of the Kenyan side for some time, but he did make a return at the back end of 2022 with those series against Nepal at the Nairobi Gymkhana. And boy, oh boy, he gave the crowd something to cheer about as Kenya looked to rebuild and reignite from their own doldrums. And that is a perfect end to the over for Mr. Lucas Ndanderson Oloch. Score is 5 without loss after 1. Perfect morning for cricket here in Achimota. A very good complex here with almost all social amenities here, including a forest and a golf club. There's also a police station. You don't run into crime. And today, Eli, is the best temperature. I say this because it's 29 degrees. The most merciful it has been thus far. Emmanuel Bundi coming through from the Achimota Forest end. Bundi is a bowler who's picked up many wickets against Uganda. He's picked up a certain sixer. It wasn't a T20I, but it was in the Challenge League, and he broke so many Ugandan hearts in Jersey. Look to inch closer to a World Cup berth in the ODI format. Whipped off his pads there down the line. Uganda will get one. A fumble in the field, but it's not costly.
Percival Cesara in your picture. Just helping Roger Mukasa take his guard. Emmanuel Bundi, 3 wickets to his name in the tournament. Best of figures of 3 for 39. No, that's 2 for 41 actually. Just mixing up my figures there.
Right in the middle. Uganda taking their time. One would feel that maybe the pitch is playing through. Shouldn't look around forever. It's a T20 match. They could run out of time.
That's short and punished. Given a little bit of width outside off stump. And Roger Mukasa gladly obliges to that one and puts it away. He opens his boundary account with the first 4 of the match and first 4 of the innings. Emmanuel Bundi was guilty of this bowling against Zimbabwe. He took a liking to him giving them width outside off stump and duly punished him. And on this occasion, Roger Mukasa gets things going. Comes down the track and works this one straight to long on. Trying to urge some bit of agency. Oh, listening to Innocent Daula. The pair are looking to try and impose themselves on the batter. On the bowlers rather, because when you choose to bat first on the surface, you better look to utilize the batting power play, look to score big before the fielding restrictions are taken off. Do you remember that in the first 6 overs, only 2 fielders are allowed outside the 30-yard circle?
Final ball for Bondi, and it's a dot ball. 6 runs in the over. Over number 2 is down, 11 without loss for Uganda.
It'll be important to see how Uganda work out their batting strategy. They struggled to get going in their previous 2 games. That's how they ended up losing that semi-final and coming to be in this position. So how they formulate their plans today will be very important and largely will depend on these 2 there at the crease. Strives, but straight on to mid-off there. Roger Mukasa has looked to bat with an intent to score. And he struck the balls a couple of times, but straight to the fielder.
We did see a lot of that when Roger played Namibia and South Africa. Hitting it hard to the fielders. They look around, trying to steal a run. There is no run there. Sukudeep seeing the keeper onto it in a flash.
Now that was beautifully bowled by Lucas Ndanderson. Just looking to deep it into the block hole. Roger Mukasa doing well to bring his bat down in time. Digging it out. Tall left arm from Kenya. Has done well so far, been economical. Coming across his line there, plays it leg side. They're pushing for 2. And they come back with ease.
And with the way Rogers batted, I do believe he knows he's the informed man, and every time he has perished, Uganda haven't added anything to the score. He must dig deep today if his team is to take home a consolation bronze.
Drives again, straight to mid-on, but they push for a single. This is good cricket from Uganda. Striking well is Roger, but at the same time, when you're not able to pierce the field, be able to convert that by running hard and you put pressure on the fielder. There's something that we didn't see much from them in their previous game. They were stuck at the crease, but today they're looking to convert the good balls into singles, which is good. It doesn't keep you stagnant, it keeps you going, you're rotating strike, you're keeping the scoreboard ticking.
Simon coming through quickly there for a run to what looked like a dot ball, because he just gave it a solid defensive push. But Roger Mukasa urging him on to come through.
A little bit slow there, or Simon Sesasi to take off. Emmanuel Bundi will be guilty of rather a poor throw, you would say. And there was no intent to run him out there. And he had some sort of urgency and could have gotten an opportunity.
Tickled round the corner by Mukasa, who is looking to make the scoreboard tick.
That's important. End of the third. 16 for no loss, Uganda.
Achimota looking every inch very beautiful. Not so many fans are in the building for this one. Maybe they will trickle through as the sun continues to pierce through the clouds and the temperatures hit the 30s now. Achimota B in the background with some little construction still going on. This is a very beautiful amenity, a facility that any team in associate cricket would love to have. And it's been beautiful, Eli. It's been nice. Bundi.
Apesh, it'll just go over, short extra cover. As Collins Oboya was well on the table where he was fielding from. Had he been just a few meters back, that would have been a simple catch to him at regular extra cover position.
That's how good Bundi is as a bowler, knowing to do things. Take off one finger, bowl a bump ball, take some pace off. He does bowl very well. A variety, call it a mixed bag. Simon Sesazi with a little push to point. Where Nel Mugabe, one of the few faces that have merged into Kenyan cricket over the last 13 or so months, with the name of a man who is a legend as a politician in Africa. From where you hail from, Eli?
Definitely wonder if there's a bit of relation there. Find out later. But at the moment, Bundi continues. Pulled away this one, but it's up in the air. Fielder under it. Koche loses it in the sunlight. Everybody from Kenya will stop and stare at him, but he tells them that he lost it in the sun there that is coming through from the east. Simon Sesazi looking to pull that one, but didn't get the desired connection.
Simon Sesazi is saying it's time to take flight, but there's not enough fight from him, and he gets a reprieve from Peter Kowech, who puts down a sitter in my books.
The sun is in his eyes. We're wearing shades here in the box, in a sense, so you can feel sorry for him for a moment or so. Pushed hard. Collins Oboya is always in the thick of things at extra cover. Collins Oboya, the most seasoned player, gave Kocha a pat on the back for missing that one, encouraging him like, keep your eye on the ball, mate, as long as you can. Neil Mugabe still saying a few words to Kocha for that one. And that opportunity still has made this a good over for Emmanuel Bundi. 2 runs off it, 4 deliveries into it. Some of these half chances, you feel like Kenya need to grab a hold of them early on, especially during this phase of play of the power play. Quick run taken. Enough Patel, then attempted run out at the keeper's end. Simon Sesazi makes it. Definitely slow start by Uganda. Just going at about 5 and over at the moment. The only player that has seemed to have an intent to score is Roger Mukasa, 13 or 15. While Simon is still trying to navigate his way around the crease. Now plays that one beautifully. Just playing it as late as possible, and then it goes past man at point for 4. Now to definitely give him some confidence. 4 runs to Uganda. Given a bit of width on outside off stump. And open the face of the bat. Didn't look too strike it too hard, but just rather guide it past the man. Square of the wicket. That's end of the 4th over. It'll be 23 for no loss. With the dropped opportunity that came there, it just shows you how spotting shades come into play, especially when the sun is shining so bright.
And I tell you what, Peter Kowech had them on when the anthems were running. Now he's asked to field in the deep, gets rid of them. It's a chance that goes down. There will be a bowling change for Kenya. And from the golf club end is Shem Obadongoche, a man who's captained this side before and had some reasonable success with it.
Starts off with a dope ball, Shem Goche, number 9 on the rankings of bowlers that have taken wickets in the tournament. He has 6 to his name. Kenya looking to capitalize on the start of the power play. They want to run through the remaining overs of the power play, hence the introduction of spin. Playing straight to long on. It's Roger Mukasa, but seems he's pulled a muscle rather there, and he's in trouble. He's in big trouble, I tell you. When he went for that powerful drive, his back foot slipped for a moment, and that slip, I'll tell you that he must have pulled up his hamstring or so. He looks to be in pain. Team medics will run to attend to him. It doesn't look good for him, and it'll definitely be not look good for Uganda at the moment. A lot of people have their hearts in their mouth because he's a vital part of their batting unit. His brother coming through there with some liquids or water rather. This is the moment. If you just take a look at that there, his ankle just giving in rather, and he looks to be in trouble. He struggled to complete that run.
Those in the dugout and those watching that are Ugandans will be hoping the man nicknamed Papa, the man with over 3,800 runs now for Uganda across all formats, is fine. A former captain of the side, Roger Mukasa, his big brother Frank Nsubuga Molondo, nicknamed since, because he's been playing since 1996 for Uganda. I don't know how old Eli was or what Eli was doing back then, but I tell you, Frank was a legend at the age of 16 as he played for Uganda in the Africa Zone 6, playing South Africa there. Couple of worlds. Brotherly love being shown. And Nav Patel very much interested to see what type of treatment being meted out to Roger Mukasa. And their loves all around, because Frank knows all these youngsters. He's seen them grow, come through the teams. Vishil Patel joining the conversation. And a man as old as Frank Nsubuga, Colin Zobuya, there in your frame. They must be saying, he's still young, Roger. We are 42 and 43. You are only 34. Get up and play.
Don't be a softy, man. Come on. You can see the team medic just taping him up around the ankle. And we hope that will be good enough for him to be able to continue. Vital member of Uganda's batting lineup. That's the beautiful Achimota Oval, situated in the Achimota School. Arena A is where you're finding us. Beautiful sight from bird's eye view, I'll tell you. Anuchabi watching closely proceedings. He will get up and jog it off a bit. That's Roger Mukasa. Should be good signs and signs of relief from the Ugandan dugout. They can breathe, and we hope that it'll still be good enough for him to continue. But only time will tell. At the moment, just 4.3 overs into the game. Uganda 24 for no loss.
Good day for cricket. It's the grand finale. And we'll be hoping for an abracadabra type of finish here.
Our action will resume shortly. Shem Goche will come through from the soccer side end. Immediately swept away a big one from Simon Sesazi. Does it have the distance? You betcha, yes it does. 6 runs.
6 runs for younger Simon, who's trying to get the pressure of Uganda's batting pair there. He's made a bit croaked, but Simon Sesazi managing to get enough meat onto that one and hitting it all the way for 6 to deep square leg.
That'll definitely settle his nerves as well. He's been struggling to get runs on the board. He's been struggling to make connections. But this one, definitely a good one. Goes again, straighter this time. And to pick up a second boundary. That's 4.
That's the power of Simon. You drop him at 8 runs, he will make you pay. He's soldiering on here. And 2 back-to-back boundaries. More of that is what the Ugandan dugout will love to see.
You get a feel that he's taking the pressure off his partner who had been scoring, Roger Mukasa, by noticing that he's a little bit injured there. He's now taking the onus upon himself. Watches that one and lets it go by. And that's 11 runs from the over. So it'll be after 5 overs. It's 34 for no loss. Uganda. At the end of the 5th over, there's a change in the voice in commentary box. It'll be Endurance of Fem joining me. It's a good morning, Endurance.
Good morning. Happy moments here for Uganda. Seems to be cruising nicely. 34 from 5. No wicket lost. A nice position to be in the power play overs.
There's a change in bowling. Man who dropped the catch, Peter Koche, has been given the ball to say, mate, you dropped the ball. Find that wicket that you cost the team. And this has got the all-important role of bowling the last over of the power play.
That's the good thing about bowlers. You always have the opportunity to redeem your image. And he's been given one here.
All right, Roger Mukasa facing. Had a bit of a niggle in the previous over. Let's see how he does. Punches it away. And he runs swiftly. Seems the tape work is good. And there's a bit of a fumble out in the deep. And they pick up 2. Vishal Patel guilty of fumbling that one. Could have kept that one to 1.
Again, Kenya would have to extremely work hard here. That's the shot again. In your view, just slightly across. A very good shot from Roger. Walking that one through to mid-on axis.
Shem Goche doing some work in the covers there and is able to put himself in a position just to keep it to 1. There's a little bit of intent from Ugandan batters to score quickly now. They do realize that this is the last over of the power play. And the first 4, they're just going around 5 and over. Kissing the 7 mark just now. 6.9 is where they are. I'm sure they're hoping for a couple of big more blows within this over. Simon now on 19 of 12. Rogers 17 of 20.
Immediately swept away.
Big shout of LBW. Umpire not interested, and that's Percival Cesara. It was just rather the bowler himself who went up on that occasion.
It's key to see here that line again. One good thing here is to see how Uganda have paced themselves coming out of the shackles from that last game where they didn't score quickly in the power play overs.
Let's squirted down to deep square leg, coming off the inside edge of Simon's bat. Just allows them a 1.
Knowing how dangerous Kenya can be with the bat and inform Colin Sobuya, Uganda should be looking to enforce even further, knowing it's about form for the Kenyan team. Hopefully we see a very, very good start for them. It's Roger Mukasa. That's on strike. Comes down the line. Tries to pierce that cover region, but the big man Colin Sobuya getting some body onto that one. They scrambled for a single there. The last delivery of the power play overs. Starting 9 for no loss. Uganda in a very good position to step on the gears from here. Simon Sasezi. Another dot, and that brings us to the end of the power play overs. 6 overs is 39 for no loss. Current run rate 6.5 per over.
Well, the power play is done. 39 runs on the board. Uganda have not lost a wicket. They will be happier with that. They're just 19 runs better than that semi-final that they lost to in Namibia. They finished the power play with 20 runs on the board in that semi-final, but now they finish off with 39. For no loss after 6. Just going at 6.5 and over. Roger Mukasa 18 of 21. And then Simon Sesazi is on 20 of 15. However, Kenya will not really be disappointed. It's only 39 runs that they've conceded. Shem Gocha will continue into the 7th.
This will be interesting to see how Roger capitalizes on the gaps.
Works it leg side for a quick single. And realizing that it's Anav Patel who's fielding it short, fine leg. The young 19-year-old. A bit slow to get off to field that one. Kenya's been disciplined. They've only given away 1 extra. So that's good for them. They're not... The lines and lengths have been good. It's crunched away straight. Nearly taking off his partner's feet there. Sesazi.
That 1 extra means Uganda have been batting really well to have been scoring all of the bats.
Casa looking to hoik it over. Let's play down for a single. Is it a single? Sims Tibin. Sims, it went all the way for 4 rather. So it's a good shot from the big man. Picks up a valuable boundary. Keeps the scoreboard ticking, but more importantly, he's found a boundary.
Good to see him playing this way today. Not so much power, but rather timing. Precisely trying to pierce the gaps on this field. Roger Mukasa, very key member of this side. A lot is dependent on him.
Looking to sweep that one. Shouts of LBW, but should have been going with the arm leg side rather, from my layman's observation. It's an important passage of play now that Uganda will be entering into. This field is spread. How they choose to go on from here, it will be important. What gear do they go in? They didn't really launch themselves within the power play. Wait for that strategy to just show off the rest of the game. Plays into the gap for a single there.
Again, clearly we're seeing controlled aggression here. 3-4 dot balls and over, and then a boundary picked up. It's end of the 7th over. It's 47 for no loss.
Peter Koche will continue from the Accra Zoo end of things. Went for only 5 in his first over. And 2 batters, the strike rate's just around 129 for Sisazi and 96 for Roger. Works the leg side. They're pushing for 2. They'll push again. Good running. Sisazi was running to the danger end. Roger needed to hear the call from his partner to come through, and he does so with ease.
This is where the difference would be. The fielding in this encounter will be very crucial. How many runs Kenya can save on the field? But at the moment, again, they're looking like they were against Zim. Just laid back slightly. The body language too calm. No intensity. Just going about business quietly.
Misses that one. Looking to play it with a straight bat, or rather just try to open the face of the bat and run it down to third man. You're right there. Endurance. Kenya rather quiet in the field. You can drop a pin and you can hear it ping off the grass, you would say. Not much words of encouragement are going around. They're just silently going through the process, rather. It's punched off the back foot, and it will be just to 1 that brings up 50 for Uganda. Comes after 7.3 overs at a run rate of just 6.67. So that's a 50 partnership for the first wicket.
Kenya would have to look for that fielding captain to keep them going on the field. Usually coaches will always use the wicket keepers to try and push things on a bit. But here it's so quiet. Like, oh, you bat, you have your way. Later we come and chase.
Play straight. It's through extra cover. Scamper for 1. Probably a wicket will wake Kenya up a bit and liven up things for them. It's probably still tense in trying to figure out where that much needed breakthrough will come from. Still trying to figure that out. Still trying to find who the captain can turn to and give him that all-important breakthrough. Short and pulled away, and this will be 6. It will ricochet off the wall of the commentary box, but that was a clean hit from Simon Sisazi.
Innocent, sorry, Eli, that's what we keep talking about. Running those singles and doubles and looking for that one boundary. That's it, half tracker, and we'll go all the way. Right maximum, Simon Sasese. He's had that one good game and looks to be coming back strongly here. Move to 31 of 21 deliveries.
Works it past man at short point. And this one again will run away for 4. It'll be similar to the second over. He picks off 2 boundaries of the last 2 deliveries.
There you have it. Giving room and width. We cut that one through goalie. More runs for Uganda. Much needed from Simon Sasese. I'm sure the fans back home will be happy with this one. Into a good position here after 8 overs. It's 61 for no loss. 7.62 is a run rate.
A very expensive over. 14 of that one. And it'll be very much welcomed by Uganda. Just looking at that beautiful background picture. The time, rather, I'll tell you that that's not the time in Ghana at the moment. Maybe the batteries need to be changed on that wall clock. Vishu Patel will be introduced from the soccer side end. Well, are you checking your time as well?
I had to check. The under-19 captain thrown into this team. I think it's a good thing to see the under-19 players progressing into the men's senior.
Bold! Gives Roger Mukasa a full toss that he completely misses. A setter that you would expect him to pull away. Vishu Patel finds the all-important breakthrough that Kenya needed.
That's it. It's there for the take. But Roger, this time, did not move towards the ball. Went right across it. He is disappointed. He knows it. This is a chip dismissal. He knows how powerful he could have been. Uganda perhaps just lost another 30 to 40 runs. But again, that's him. He's gone for 25 of 27 deliveries.
Uganda, 61 for 1. Better the crease will be Robinson Obuya. Comes through after the demise of Roger Mukasa, who was looking to hit Vishu Patel, as Innocent described it, all the way to Kampala, but not able to make the desired connection. You miss, I hit. Now, shouts of LBW, but that was well outside the line of leg stump.
For sure, there's a bit of turn on that one, but that first wicket could have been avoided. It wasn't going to trouble Mukasa in any way.
Full again. A little bit of hesitation from Sisazi to take off. Robinson was ready for a quick single. A little bit tentative as Robinson Obuya, trying to get to the non-striker's end as quickly as possible.
Clearly, there must be an intent here. Don't hog the pitch. Just keep going. Ensure you keep rotating strike. That clearly has been the strategy from the first delivery of this innings.
Again, it's pitched up full, but driven nicely by Buya this time around. He gets off the mark and opens his run account.
Some words from the Ugandan dugout. There has to be some positive communication going out there. We'll get some translation soon when Dennis comes in the box, hopefully.
It's been a good over so far from this man, Vishal Patel. Pitches it just outside off stump. Top ball. He's only conceded 1 run, but importantly, he's provided the all-important breakthrough that Kenya were looking for. They would want to finish off well, the youngster. No, just worked through the offside. Shem Goche, his efforts are in vain to stop that. End of the over. 2 runs from it, but most importantly, the first wicket in the wickets column for Kenya has come through. It's 63-4-3 after 9 overs. 63-4-1 after 9 overs. The 19-year-old sensation of Anav Patel, who spun a web against South Africa, is brought into the attack and replaces Peter Kocher.
It's going to be interesting how he does against left-armer.
Short and pulled away. This is big. It keeps rising. Falls just behind the Uganda tent right there. That's a maximum from Sesazi. Given a loosener and duly punishes it away, Sesazi.
Yeah, I know Dennis did mention that Sesazi is very good at punishing bad deliveries. And it's showing that intent clearly. That's it. In the arc. It was short. Opens up that front foot. And would take that maximum. The young Patel will have to find a rhythm. I know he's struggled against left-handers. It's always going to be difficult for right arm leg spinners.
This time around, punched into the covers. Well, it's a similar story to South Africa. In his first over, the first ball, he was sent for 6. Then Shem Goche just told him, don't pitch it full. Short again. This one way over the pavilion into the Achimota B Arena. That's 6 more. A smile from the Ugandan chairman there. That's Sir Michael.
That's it, another half tracker. And Simon show no mercy on that one. Earlier today, we saw Collins Obuya trying to help this youngster, getting him to pitch it up. And that he has to take those advices, even from Shem Goche coming to him there. Get it up the bat, get it up the bat. Don't bowl short, because she's just going to sit and get murdered.
Well, let's see if the words of advice will be adhered to by Anav Patel. Better, just slightly outside off stump. He needs to push it up just a little bit more and be able to turn it into the left-hander or away. He's got a magnificent googly, the youngster. Full toss and just worked to extra cover.
That's the trick. You got to push it up a bit.
Full again. Just for single this time around. That should be the end of the over. It should be after 10 overs. It's 76 for 1. So halfway through the innings, teams will take a cooling break, much needed. It's a little bit warm out there. And it'll also be time to cool Sesazi's bat. It's been hard on fire, picking up 2 sixes in that over. 13 runs coming off it. I'll be back shortly after this drinks break.
Welcome back. It's 10 overs gone, 76 for 1. And it's Uganda who won the toss and decided to bat. Simon Sasezi, 49 of 30 deliveries. And Robinson joining him to set up another partnership. It's Roger Mukasa who departed, and joining me in the comms box is Dennis Musali, my man. And he is a boss indeed. Welcome and good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Endurance. Good afternoon if you're in Kampala. Simon Sesazi just 1 run away from his second half century in the African Games. And Robinson Ombuya, one of the changes made by Team Uganda today. Robinson comes into the team in the place of Ronald Lutaya. So far, it's a good hustle for Uganda.
Avan Pacha who continues. Sorry. Not Avan, brilliantly driven through the covers. The single will come from that one. Cheering from the dugout, 50 up for Simon Sasezi of 31 deliveries.
Yeah, very good 50 from Simon. Was given a chance by Peter Kowich on 5, and then he's gone on to make sure that he makes them pay for that opportunity. The second 50 for him, and in a crucial game.
He goes big. Robinson, this would go all the way. What a way to begin the second half of the first innings.
Yeah, Robinson Obuya, they are backing his power. Sees this one in the slot, and he just goes after it. Down on his knee, but he's a powerful player, Robinson Obuya. Show Patel will have to just adjust his length. You can bowl that similar sort of delivery, just hold it back a little bit. If Robinson tries to go for power again, you could be in business.
This time it's a dot and young Patel getting involved in that one.
And I just mentioned it there, Shamim Nassali in your frame, the physio for the Cricket Cranes. Brian Masaba just behind him, still suffering from that niggle he got in the game against South Africa.
Another one. Same area, same direction. Robinson Obuya not holding back. Showing this class act now.
Yeah, the second half a dozen for Robinson in this particular over. Again, right in the slot. Robinson backs his power and goes through the shot for a maximum. Robinson making up for some lost time. He has been in and out of the team, but now that he's been given an opportunity, he's taking it with both hands.
Vishal onto the pump now. It's 13 from that over already from 4 deliveries. 2 to come from here. He goes big wall. Oh no, dropped. Half chance. Should be taken. Got the hand to it. At backward of point.
Yeah, a super effort there from Neil Mugabe. Nearly pulled off a stunner there, but couldn't take it on the second opportunity. Captain Rakep Patel not very happy.
Touch and go. It would be a single. Brilliant run in between the wickets.
Yeah, it's been an eventful over. Everything has been happening. But a big over for Uganda. Just after the break, they get 14 runs from it, and they are 90 for 1 after 11. Kenyan legend Joseph Angara in your frame, assistant coach of the Simbas from Kenya. I think he's wondering where this one will end. 90 for 1. Rakep Patel at the toss mentioning that probably 140 should be a decent enough total for them to be able to chase.
It has the captain, Rakep, who has taken the ball. This time, rocks back and finds that gap between covers and points for a single. Simon Sasese back on strike.
Changing the angle for Simon Sasese, Rakep choosing to come round the wicket.
Driven this one through mid-off for a single. Yesterday, 2 days ago, we saw Simon getting out that soft dismissal. Another dot, 2 from that over already, 3 deliveries left.
Yeah, the captain taking matters in his own hands.
Noisy call sends him back. Simon Sasese loud and clear. Again, that's a decent strategy by the captain, taking off Patel, who struggles regularly with the left-handers. Brilliant shot. A trademark one. Kneeling onto that one. No chance whatsoever. Maximum from it.
Robinson Obuya now dealing in sixes only. Gets inside the line of this ball and whips it over the infield for a 6. I think from his collection so far, that should be the best of them all.
Where has he been? Where has he been? He goes big again. This time will he go all the way? Yes! This is the show we want to see. And trust me, Dennis, where has this man been?
Robinson Obuya, such party will be needed to find that ball, because Robinson Obuya this time goes over mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, big shot from him. Slog sweep goes over the head of Nelson Nelson Odiambo, and that is into the forest. Endurance, I think you're asking the wrong person. Maybe later on at the post-match presentation, you can see there the chairman of Uganda Cricket and the CEO, Michael Nwagawa, with John Walusimbi looking on, hoping that this time Uganda can be able to go back home with the bronze. And Tayo, another one from the Nigerian contingent here to support. I'm not sure about Tayo's loyalties, but I know Michael and John are surely for Uganda.
Tayo loves Ugandan cricket. He's a board member of the Nigerian Cricket Federation. Bowling changes. Nelson. It's 104 for 1 after 12 overs. Current run rate sailing at 8.6.
Robinson Obuya hasn't been required for most of the games in the tournament, but he's here to bowl for the first time.
So Nigerian players, Fisio, Sheye, Olympio, goes big on the leg side. Will this race all the way? It's more runs for Uganda.
Yeah, now the runs starting to leak and come for Uganda very easily. Nelson Obuya starting off with down the leg side. No chance. Oh, just dropped in front of Sukhdeep Singh. Very difficult to take. You can't blame the young man.
The wide delivery, that one. Goes short this time. More runs. Not the way you want to start the over. Being your first in a tournament. 5 wides, previous delivery. And the next one goes short and pulled away by Simon Sasese.
Yeah, half tracker from Nelly. No pace in the wicket. Just setting up nicely for Simon. He's already on 55. So he will hit everything that is poorly bowled to the boundary. 9 runs from 2 balls already. The last couple of overs have been very, very big for Uganda.
Still 5 deliveries to come from this over. Simon looking interested in that one, but Robinson would not move.
I think Robinson just trying to be wondering why Simon is interested in the ones when they've been dealing in boundaries and sixes for that matter. There's no point in getting run out right now. Robinson, 27 off 13 balls.
It would be good to read all the flowers that will come to this Uganda team should they succeed today. Dots that one away. That foot stump line.
Robinson has 27 runs and is clobbered 4 sixes from the 27 runs. So the 24 runs have all come in half a dozen.
A brilliant shot this time through mid-on. They would get a second. Brilliant running between the wickets. Good to see that push by Robinson. Simon Sesese applauding him.
Yeah, very more positive intent here from the Ugandans. I think this is what they needed to do in the semi-final. Big partnerships, but also the intention to try and pick up the runs. Roger and Simon had a partnership of 51. Robinson and Simon have already made 52 together.
Straight to young Patel. That will be a dot. It's a big over already. 11 from it. 1 ball to come.
Henry Senyondo, the big brother of Simon.
Brilliant shot, cuts this one away. Fielder comes around it. Will he? Yes, he reaches it. But 2 runs for sure. Simon Sasese, who continues to milk Kenya away More runs. And that brings us to the end of the 13th over. It's 117 for 1. Sailing at 9 per over. Dennis, what you reckon will be a good score here from this position?
I think if you're going to continue like this, they should probably finish at least over 150 runs, barring the fact that they don't drop so many wickets in between. Maybe Simon is already stuck in and Robinson can continue taking the charge. They still have Dinesh Patel to come, Dinesh Nakrani, Craig Williams, the batting consultant for the team. It should be a happy man today with what the boys have been able to do. 2 big partnerships, 61 between Roger and Simon, 56 between Simon and Robinson. I think this is how you want to play the game, especially if you're batting.
Yeah, we talked about it in the space yesterday, Dennis. We talked about one of the openers batting through the innings and making sure they continue from there. Today, it's Simon who's in, and he has to go all the way while the enforcers at the other end continue. Robinson, Obuya doing just that.
Peter Kowech comes back into the attack.
Starts off with a slower delivery, but they will get a single from that one.
I think another thing that someone spoke about yesterday is the consistency of the performances of the cricket cranes. It's important that whichever way you want to play, you're very consistent with your own style. You can't be indifferent every time you go out to play.
Well, fair enough. I agree with you, Dennis. But when you look at the context of the team, if you have 5, 6 quality batters and 3 of them perform every game, then you don't have to worry. But when you are over-reliant on the opening batters, then this will continue to happen. Shots, and he pulls that one again away. More runs here for Simon. Brilliant show. Ugandan dugout really, really happy with this one. He's looking big here against Kenya.
Yeah, that's a money shot there for Simon Sesazi. He will go to it any day, any time. I think even in his sleep, that hook shot is his money shot. Peter Kowech, the man guilty of putting him down, is now being served out with the punishment.
How tough can that be? You drop a player and the captain say, hey, go get him out. And you get punished this way.
I'll tell you what, endurance, from that situation, I wasn't in the comms box then, but my coach back home will tell you, do you want us to play in the rain? Because cricket is played in the sun. So you have to make sure you always take the sun is never an excuse to put down a catch.
I agree with you. Dennis, I've been asked to ask who the coach is. We need to give him some flowers as well. He said so many right things to you. And that explains your success stories in your days. This is where Simon will have to be careful. Play controlled innings. You've taken Uganda into a very good position. You don't want to just throw it away. 2 loose shots presently.
Yeah, I think in that case it was just too greedy. It was a full ball. The field is spread. You just lean into it and hit it in the gap. You pick up a single. But the coach is the legend of Ugandan cricket, Mr. Samuel Usimbi.
Brilliant line, straight to the big man, Collins Obuya. He's done well, Dennis. Your coach has done really well because you understand and know your cricket. And I really appreciate him for that.
Simon got a 6, but the next 3 balls have been dot balls. And this is something he struggled with when he was starting out. That dot ball percentage, you just need to make sure that you work on it.
This time he finds a gap. Throw mid off. 1 it is. I agree with you. That's the end of the 14th over, 125 for 1. Just dropping from that 9 run per over to 8.9. Into the 15th over. It's Nelson who will continue. 36 deliveries left from this innings. Uganda in a very, very good position. They need to enforce strongly from here. It's Simon Sasezi, 66 of 43. And Robinson Obuya, 28 of 14. Again, it's gone. A much needed wicket. I know Chabi, sure about that one. Soft dismissal here. Not threatening whatsoever. Simon Sasezi will depart for 66.
Yeah, Nelson comes into the attack and strikes immediately. There was some weight on offer, but the feet in the toilet for Simon, just reaching for the ball. Loose sort of shot there from Simon, who has been the set batter. But he will go for a well-constructed 66 from 44 balls. Dinesh Nakrani will come in to join Robinson Obuya. Now Uganda will have to start off again. But a good partnership between Simon and Robinson. They were able to put together 64 runs. Uganda now 125 for 2.
We talked about it earlier. It's always going to be difficult to really put up big totals if the man who's in gets out in these fashions. Earlier it was Roger Mukasa batting nicely and played slightly across a fuller delivery. This time it's Simon Sasese fetching a wide one. Dinesh Kumar, he's got some quality. He needs to come and keep going and keep enforcing. On the mark straight away to mid off, long off comes into play there. It's just a single.
Endurance, Rakip has had to make 8 bowling changes today. I think because his young bowlers, Vishal and Anav, have gone for plenty. He's trying to protect them. You should see them maybe bowling when there are 2 new batters out there. The only people who haven't taken the ball, Collins Obuya, the keeper, of course, Sukhdeep Singh, and Neil Mugabe.
Interesting. But again, I would take all my options if they are available. He goes big. As this goes all the way. Yes. What a catch. What a catch.
Yeah, Vishal Patel with the catch. Robinson Obuya, you live by the sword, you die by it. This time doesn't get enough power in it. Had too much height on that, but there is no distance. And what a catch there by the young Vishal Patel, who had to run across and take the catch. I think because there was too much height on that, the ball stayed in the air for quite some time. Gave him a lot of time to come around and take the catch. Robinson departs for 28 from 15. Uganda now quickly 126 for 4.
And it's 2 wickets from that over.
126 for 3, not for 4. The standing captain, Kenneth Waiswa, comes into bat for Uganda.
It's Kenneth, the skipper himself. Will tickle that one away towards fine leg. A single from that delivery. 2 wickets and 2 runs from this over already. 2 balls left.
Yeah, Nelson, who had gone for plenty in his first over, now comes back in his second spell. Very, very experienced campaigner. Has picked up 2 good wickets. Just to try and make sure that Kenya puts some breaks on.
Brilliant push towards mid-off for a single. Dinesh just rotating strike there. During the post-match presentation, Kenneth was quite clear about how negative the top orders were. I'm sure today is happy, but it's got the responsibility to carry on from that point.
I don't think it was just a top order. I think everyone in that team, they were waiting. They were like waiting for something to happen rather than trying to make things happen. And as long as Namibia were able to, get to ball in the right areas, something just never happened. And in the end, they were on the wrong end of the result.
Last ball to come from this over. There will be changing that comes back soon. No is the call. That one straight to the big man, Colin Sobuya. Filled with world of experience. Brings us to the end of the 15th over, and it's 128 for 3 at run rate of 8.5 per over. Innocent Ndaola, welcome to the Camps Box again.
Yeah, the beautiful Achimota school, where this Achimota ground, as you can see it, the Achimota A ground, which has been the main ground for the whole tournament. Beautiful ground that should serve Ghana cricket going forward, especially after these African games. Hopefully that the game grows and develops in this particular region. But a coming together of the minds there, the Kenyan think tank, Colin Zobuya and Rakeb Patel coming together just before giving the ball to Peter Kowich. Probably Kenya must be realizing this is the moment for them to try and drag themselves back into the game and put a hold, put a stop to how Uganda have been moving. Innocent, you've been watching on the sidelines. Your thoughts?
You said it all, Dennis. Alpesh, I beg your pardon, Dinesh Kumanakrani going through over the covers for 2. He's going to try and force the pace, Dinesh. Uganda slowing down things. They were 76 after 10 overs, and then they got 50 runs in the next 5 overs, but 40 of those runs were scored in the first 3 overs. So in the last 2 overs, 14 and 15, Uganda has been very quiet with the bat. Obuya falling and Sesazi softly in that last overboard by Mandela, Odiambo, Nelson. Again, they are trying to go for power. It doesn't get the middle of it, but does it get the second? Yes, they're running back for the second. Shem Ngoche with the throw.
Yeah, some very, very aggressive running between the wickets. Kenneth Waiswa making sure that he's very quick because he's running towards the danger end. That's just 4 runs off 2 balls without so much pressure.
Because the 2 batters out here, Dennis Nakrani and Waiswa, only 41 runs in the tournament for him with a high score of 25. He's Kama Cropper. Dinesh going for power, but Kowech bowling very tidy lines, denying him any room to free his arms, because once he's in the zone, Uganda would like to keep up with the scoring rate at this stage. The wicket has been playing through. Nakrani with 70 runs in the tournament before today, an average of 17, not his standard whatsoever. He will know as much and he will want to do better today.
But Dinesh is also a batter who likes playing against the Kenyans. He always gets some runs against them. But between the 8th and the 13th over, Between the 8th and the 13th over, Uganda scored 74 runs. I think that was the passage of play that put them in this position. They came after the bowling. They just made up their minds, Robinson Oboy and Simon Cesars, to just go after the young bowlers. So that is what has put them in a good position. But now Kenya need to make sure that the final 5 overs are tidy so that Uganda doesn't get away from them.
And so far so good. 2 back-to-back dot balls from Peter Kowech, the Nakuru Express. Again, they are not giving Nakrani room. Nakrani, 70 runs coming to today's match, Dennis, and he got 43 from 21 balls in the opening match against the same opposition. These Ugandans just do love to turn up and play against Kenya.
I think what the Kenyans want to do is try and bowl spin against Dinesh, so they will bowl as much medium pace as possible, just to make sure that Dinesh doesn't get stuck in. He's a guy who likes to play against spin. I am sure there's no chance of us seeing the youngsters coming back into the attack.
Again, Kenneth Weiss were there, beaten all hands up. I don't know what shot he was trying to play there, Dennis. You're the batsman here in the comms box. You can tell me and teach me.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to work that ball into the empty mid-wicket region. But outfoxed there by Peter Kowech. A good over from him. 133 for 3 after 16 overs.
Four overs left, 24 balls here. 24 balls if you count a run a ball and give another 24 runs to Uganda. They will have 157. But Dinesh Nakrani will be trying to get more. And Kenneth, they must do that sensibly. We saw yesterday Zimbabwe getting 196. In the last 2 overs, Dennis, Zimbabwe scored 50 runs. Wicket there for Kenya against the run of play. I tell you, if it's not your day, it's not your day. Even a banana can break your tooth. Kenneth Weiss will run out at the non-strikers and faintest of fingers onto it from the power shot hit by Dinesh Nakrani. Kenneth Weiss was a guilty party for over-backing up, and the captain of the day will take a walk for no runs again today.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll just have to walk for just the 1 run. Unlucky for him because they've been running very well between the wickets. But this one, very well done there to just stick out his hand by Nelson. Nelson involved in the last 3 dismissals for the Kenyans. He's picked up the last 2 wickets, but this time just sticking out a hand that ricochets into the stumps. Kenneth Weiss was guilty of having a very early start. And we'll have to walk for just a 1 run. Alpesh Ramjani is the new batter for Uganda. A very good passage of play here for Kim Kenya. As Eli also joined us in the commentary box, how does Uganda go about things from here on?
Like that. Launched away, and it'll be deposited straight behind the bowler for 6.
Dinesh Nakrani saying, well, you've been lucky so far in your spell, 3 wickets you've been involved in, but if you put it up in the zone, I'll throw the kitchen sink and everything in the kitchen to it, and I'll get half a dozen.
Well, definitely that's how Uganda should look to play from here on. 16.2 overs that have gone so far. So you have 6 wickets in hand. Throw everything that you have at it. Try to raise that run rate to around 10 or 12 and over, and you could get yourself around the 180 mark. Banged away again, short, and it's been dispatched for another maximum.
Yeah, it's looking very easy now for Dinesh. The medium pace, he's been able to line it up well. Second back-to-back sixes. Look at that here from Nelly again. Tries a length delivery and picked up well there by Dinesh Nakrani. Once it comes off the blade, that one stays hit.
Living and dying by the sword, a mantra that has been a famous adage here in the comms box. We saw Buya, and now Nakrani going big and even bigger. This time round doesn't get a hold of it. He sit down straight to the sweeper where the legend Collins Omondi Obuya is fielding.
Well, in the game of the semi-finals, I asked you gentlemen, what would be your target? Around the similar mark, we're well into the 17th over. Almost about 21 deliveries to go. What would be your target, Innocent?
35 more runs.
175 for Innocent. They pick up 2 comfortably there. What will be your target now, Dennis?
180.
180. Well, from here on, I tell you, gentlemen, if Uganda are to press on, they should look to get 197, 198 there, 200 at most. If they press on.
Nelson figures 2 for 31. Last ball.
Get in each other's way. I don't know who. That is normally a contest between the batter and the bowlers. You can see they are Neri not very happy with Dinesh, and I'm sure Dinesh is also not happy as well. 149 for 4 after 17 overs. With Eli, when you ask, and just that's the beautiful Akimota air ground, with the way the Ugandans have this belief that with the way they bowl, whatever score that they put on the board, it is plus 20. So if it is 160, if they finish on 160, ideally that should be 180. If they finish on 100, that's 200 on the board.
Look at the number of wickets you have in end with the remaining overs. 18 balls. That's about 30 more runs that if you go at 10 and over, but I believe you can go about 15. Target to get 15 and over. You should get there with 6 wickets in hand.
That would take some sustained hitting. But again, if you hit, you lose a wicket, it's a dot ball. You don't score from that.
Take your chances, Innocent.
Emmanuel Lingera Bundi, former under-19 captain of this team.
Up it goes, just like that. It's been launched out into the deep. It'll go for 6. That's a good start of the over.
Yeah, pressure immediately on Bundi, but what a top quality shot from Alpesh Ramjani. Sets himself up well. That is a shot, a mark of a brilliant batter, especially when it comes off from a left-hander. It's a super shot, straight 6 over cover. One of the most difficult shots to play. Both of you are left-handers, and I'm sure you have not hit that kind of 6.
Well, I bet right-handed, Dennis.
Then he's becoming a heavy hitter in the comms box, but we'll take no punches here.
Good start. Should look to get about 10 from the over from the remaining deliveries. Goes big again, but it'll be up in the air. Collins Oboya takes a catch at deep square. Alpesh will perish for 9. Trying to go big again.
Alpesh low tournament with the bat continues here. Alpesh Ramjani trying to go for back-to-back 6s this time around, holding out to those big bucket hands of a man nicknamed Kolo. Alpesh wraps up his tournament with just very few runs, less than 25 to be exact. He's had 19 before today.
Innocent, I'll tell you the error in that shot from Alpesh is that this time he tried to slice a bat and the ball just went straight where Collins was. He didn't even have to do much apart from running in a couple of yards and taking the catch. The previous shot, he went straight over covers for the 6. So just a slight change that has caused, you would call that batter failure because he just hit a very nice clean 6. Fred Achelam in his first game for the Cricket Cranes coming into bat.
Wise from Achelam, just giving it a leading edge as he dances down the wicket. Off the mark immediately in the tournament. Achelam was the main man with the gloves for Uganda, but now he's got to push out a youngster from the squad if he's to come back after that surgery, which took a lot of from him.
Yeah, you must say that playing for places, especially in that wicket keeper batter position for the Cricket Cranes.
Nakrani, the last of the recognizable hitters for Uganda. Lucky with that hit, he didn't carry to Koech.
Koech thought twice about coming in for the catch there. He came in running hard, then he saw that the ball was flying as well, but just dying on him. And he's decided rather just to save the boundary. But going back to that first shot by Fred, if I was to say if he should repeat it.
If he repeats it, it could even be better. He could get 4.
No chance, Innocent.
Inside edge, Nehru just run away behind short fine leg. They pick up 2. And are very much welcomed by the dugout there.
What Achelam is doing here, he's not playing just for his country, he's also playing for his number. Because he comes in at a stage when Uganda is well set. Back in the day, he was a man known as to one who does love to hit the long ball. We haven't seen any of that since. But Achelam won Uganda some couple of crucial games in 2018 in Malaysia during the Challenge League.
Works it through, recovers. Bit of a fumble. They think of one, but he's sent back by Nakrani. 10 runs off that over. A good one for Uganda. It'll be 18 overs and it's 159 for 5. So 12 deliveries remain. And different predictions have been put up for what they should look for. Innocent has gone for 175. Dennis wants 20 more runs just to put them there to around the 180 mark around there. I'm hoping for 190 or 200 at most if they can get about 16 or 18 and over there. 30 more runs for me. If they can get 30 more runs in these 12 deliveries, they'll be in a very safe spot.
Lucas Ndadason, the vice captain.
Thick outside edge. One bounce and over the boundary for 4. Good start to the over.
From one left-hander to another. Of course, bowling it farther away into the wide line, but Mr. Nakrani's bat is hot from the fireplace.
I hope there is no deja vu for Lucas Nanderson because we know what Tashinga Musepiwa did to him in the semi-final game between Kenya and Zimbabwe. I think what happened to him was illegal. So he needs to be very, very careful, especially now that Dinesh is interested.
Good start for Uganda. They picked up 4 off the first delivery. That'll be wide. Pressure on the bowler. Add something to the extras column. Well wide. You could put another set of stumps there.
I don't know if that's a good plan there from Lucas. He needs to be looking at bowling some of those Yorkers and tighten up.
Didn't get a hold of it, but he's hit it all the way for 6. Nakrani Kumal putting on a clean hitting show here and said no ball.
Well, that was dispatched. Walked across the stumps, picked up the length early, and smashed it away over long on for 6. Right, so it's 10 off the over that have come off the bat. And you add the extras. Worse off, this is a no ball. It's an opportunity for Nakrani to go after him again. This should be the over that they will go big. Swing and a miss.
But the good offer there from Dinesh, he had gone back so deep in his crease just to make sure that he gets everything. In case Lucas is trying to find that Yorker length, that block hole area, if he misses his length by just an inch, it could come off for him. That's a problem when you're trying to go for that. Probably now that hard length will be the better line rather than trying to go for the Yorker.
Well, top ball after another. So good comeback from Lucas.
You can see Dinesh is clear about his intention. He's just trying to line him up. The score is 171. Just if you look at the scoreboard here on the ground. So we'll just wait for that that number to change. 171 for 5 is where Uganda is. My prediction, not very far from it, of 180.
Again, this time round, he will run and he will ask Achelam if he can come back for a second. Achelam says, yes, you are the boss. Mr. Nakrani, I'll give you the strike as much as you want to hog it.
That's good cricket awareness. Saying that it was bowled wide and the wicketkeeper could not get it. And they take the opportunity to run 2 rather, plus the extra of the wide. Comes down the wicket, hits it straight. And that's a magnificent hit. It should go all the way for 6. Straight as a ruler, I'll tell you.
Look at this hit. Again, Nakrani just shuffling across his stumps to that invisible 4th stump and then muscling it out of the park.
Yeah, that's a clean cricket shot. Lucas now quickly under the pump. The Ugandans are getting stuck in, especially Dinesh Nakrani. Just lined him up in this particular over.
19 of the over so far. It's a good one. Make that 20. Told you if they can look to get 20 or 18 and over, that 190 mark just looks much more feasible now.
You're listening to the voice of Eli, a man who comes from a country full of sangomas. None of us is good enough to tie his shoelaces, Dennis.
Crunched up and away it goes. A super one, hitting it with the wind. It'll go for 6.
26 runs coming off the penultimate over of the match. Lucas, a guilty party in the slot again, and this time on the offside. He's been hit both sides of the wicket. And collector's item from Dinesh Nakrani. That's a super quality shot. We still have a ball left.
I'll tell you what, this is a game of cricket where you need to not take no prisoners. And Nakrani is doing that. 41 of 18. Great cameo. Banged away again. This shall be another one. It'll be maximum.
Tell you, it's been a big over. 32 runs coming from the over. The power, the excellence. Look at that. It had the height, it had the distance, flying all the way like a bird to the boundary.
Yeah, deja vu all over again there for Lucas Nanderson. Doesn't come up with the goods. 191 for 5 is where Uganda is after 19 overs. The final 6 balls coming up for the first innings of this bronze medal contest. So the curtain raiser for the gold medal. I think Eli Tawanda is trying to, unfortunately...
Dennis, before you go on, I would like Eli to apologize to us. He's making us look like we don't know this game. We never played the game.
Goes big, Fred Achelam. Dinesh Nakrani, what you can do, I can do as well. Deposited into the forest.
197, Mr. Ella, you were talking about 200. How happy are you? Because the grin on your face could boil someone a cup of tea. It is very, very hot here.
I told you, the 200 is up on the cards. If you are looking to go big, don't take any prisoners. Look at those figures. Dinesh Nakrani, 47, just off 11 deliveries, if I'm not 19, if I'm not mistaken. Fred, 9 of 4. They have 5 remaining balls to target 200 on the cards. Here we go. Ah, good ball, but however, it'll run away for 4. Fortune favors the brave, I tell you. If things are going your way, nothing at all can stop you from reaching that mark that you want.
Everything happening for the cricket cranes. A good ball from Bundi, but goes through the pads and completely missed there by the keeper. Sukhdeep Singh. More runs coming up for the cricket cranes, and the 200 comes up as well.
All right, gentlemen, I'll ask you again. There are 4 more balls to go. What should he look to get?
Can you please give us your prediction first?
We'll work with your number.
Clean board. Fred Achelam trying to go for a big one. You won't fault him. It was time to take fight.
In the slot again from Bundi, but pays off. You miss a hit that crashes into the leg stump. But a good cameo from Fred Achelam, who's been a supporting caster for Dinesh Nakrani. Uganda 201 for 6 after 19.3.
That's a good comeback from Emmanuel Bundi. He'd been taken apart in the first delivery, and unfortunate in his second one where it was 4 byes that brought up that 200 for Uganda.
Cosmas Cheuta, a man who loves to bat. Yes, he's an opening bowler, but he has batting pretensions. And I tell you, he must be telling Dinesh, I'm going to give you the strike for the last 2 balls. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, where was this batting performance when Uganda needed it in the semi-final?
Hitting just 111. Could have been playing for a bigger medal, but they find themselves here fighting for bronze. But 3rd is better than 4th. And he does exactly that. Mr. Cosmas saying, I'll hand over the reins to you. Please take your throne in the hot seat.
That was a great fielding effort there from Neil Mugabe. Fielding a point. Managed to stop a couple there, or definite boundary, you would say. Now,
you know what,
man on 47 off 19.
I'm sure he's looking for his half century.
Well bowled, slow delivery, but pushing the gap there. Will come back for 2. A little bit of hesitation, but they run well.
Dinesh just needs 1 run for him to pick up a half century. If he's a team man, he can go for the slog. If he's playing for himself, he'll go for the single.
It all depends on the ball. It depends on the delivery. Emmanuel Bundi has done well in the last 2 deliveries. Here we go. Last ball of Uganda's innings. Where will this one go? Cleaned away. Gets high. But it'll be stuck in the air. Dropped. And 50 will come up for Dinesh Nakrani. Coach of the man who dropped the first guy early on. Drops the second one.
Lucky days for Dinesh Nakrani there. Last ball in the slot. He slices it in the air, a lot of height on it, but stays within the between the circle called wedge. Guilty party. He's wearing a grin on his face, but he won't be the one smiling. Dinesh Nakrani will be the man smiling because that is his 3rd T20I half century.
Yeah, a forgettable day in the field there for Peter Koech. And if looks could kill, Emmanuel Bundi gave him a stare down, but unfortunately, catch not taken. Uganda finishing on 206 for 6 in their 20 overs. A big batting performance. A big opening stand from Roger Mukasa, what 61. Roger Mukasa and Simon Sesazi, what 61. And another second wicket partnership, what 64 between Robinson Obuya and Simon Sesazi. Set them up very well. But some clean hitting from Dinesh Nakrani, 51 from just 21 balls, has seen them finish on 206 for 6.
Uganda also helped alongside there by 16 extras by the bowlers of Kenya. That man, Nelson Odhiambo, 2 for 32 in his 3 overs, and then 2 for 34 for Emmanuel Bundi, who will be very unlucky and feel very, very displeasured by the fielding of Kowech in that final over. A number of bowlers used by Kenya, and I tell you, 8 bowlers have been used today by Rakeb Patel, who also came into the attack and bowled 1 over for 14. Uganda losing 6 wickets. First one at 61. At 125, lost 3 in a rush there. But the final flourish here being displayed by Mr. Nakrani, who taken a break as you enjoy the highlights.
Just showing you some action that was there. Simon Sesazi played some beautiful array of shots, neatly timing some of the deliveries, but he launched himself on a couple of occasions, finding 6s as well as 4s, striking it clean, I tell you. He took over when his partner got injured, Roger Mukasa, and he got Uganda to a very, very good start, laid the platform. But that was the turning moment. Vishal Patel finding wickets. But however, he was put under the pump as well as Anaf Patel by Simon Sesazi, who powered his way to a magnificent half century, scoring 66. Robson Obuya also got into the act, a great cameo of 28, hitting a total of 6 4s on that occasion of the 15 deliveries that he faced. He took everybody on, and it launched the platform for Uganda. A little bit of fortunate runs that came their way through extras, but also it was a much deliberate effort by Uganda to try and put up a decent score. Wickets were falling, but the huge 6s came pouring on, and some magnificent catching as well. Some fortunate wicket there for Odhiambo. Dinesh Nakrani walked onto the field of play, and he was belligerent in his efforts. His half century came off 50 of 21 deliveries, striking 5 6s, I tell you. And he found the boundary on 2 occasions. But however, he kept on charging, walking across the stumps, and pulling it away, hitting it as straight as possible. It was hit to all pucks of the ground, I tell you. And then finally, Fred also came to the party, but departed. But before that, he had also provided 9 vital runs in the efforts of Uganda to reach this total of a mammoth of 206 for 6. So this is the equation. After 20 overs, Uganda finished on 206 for 6, and it will require 207 for Kenya. We'll be back shortly after this innings break. Gentlemen, whenever you're ready. Greetings, and we welcome you back to the second half of this innings. Uganda being belligerent in their first innings, putting up a mammoth total of 206 for 6 in their allotted 20. It is now for them to embark on the defense of that total. The target for Kenya will be 207. Good afternoon, Endurance. You'll be joining me as we kick off the final leg of this third and fourth match place playoff, living up to be a thrilling encounter.
Good afternoon, Eli. Interesting to see the big chase would be on. Collins Obuya again and Neil Mugabe will be doing it for Kenya. Cosmos, the man who's back from injury, has been given the opportunity to keep reeling in. Hopefully, should be strong and fit enough for the World Cup, but it was an amazing finish there by Uganda. They've put themselves in a very, very good position from here. 206 for 6 from the allotted 20 overs. It's Colin Sobuya who would lead the proceedings here for Kenya. Hopefully, he gives some starts.
I'll tell you what, 71 runs were scored in the last 3 overs of that game. And that catapulted Uganda from 149 to 206. How Kenya choose to operate, we're yet to see now. Good start by Cosmos Cheuta, opening the bowling from the soccer side end.
For sure, this is what we're going to see. We're going to see more of Colin Sobuya trying to come down the line or going onto that off stump and kneeling on one foot, hitting and sweeping over deep square leg or mid wicket. That has been his strength throughout this tournament and is in form for Kenya.
In form, I tell you, second leading run scorer in the tournament. He's got 184 runs to his name. But Cosmos is not letting him off loosely. Returning to the side for Uganda as be looking to regain his spot and also just gain his fitness. Speaking of Colin Zabuya again, in the tournament he has struck 11 sixes and 20 fours. He's the only batter with those kind of figures. Big shot of LBW. Think that'll be an element of height there.
Brilliant start by Cosmos. Was troubled in both ways. He just moved into his crease, hoping to walk it down the leg side, but Cosmos managed to hold his line.
He's been hit around the inner thigh on that occasion by that delivery. It'll be painful because there's really no protection there.
10 required, 10.6 required per over. Comes down the wicket.
Good piece of fielding there from Uganda, Henry Senyondo. Fielding at short fine. Able to pick it up on the go and still restrict Kenya. It's been a good over so far. 4 dope balls on the trot.
Hopefully he finishes strong here, Cosmos.
Well, he gives Kenya with the first runs of the game with a wide delivery. Runs on the board, but none off the bat yet. Straying with his lines there, just going down leg side.
This game would be interesting. Clearly, Collins understands what is required from this moment.
Bold. He strikes on the last delivery of the over. What a start for Uganda. What a start from Cosmos. Kweuta coming back into the side.
There you have it again. This time not coming forward through the gates. Beautiful delivery by Cosmos. And he will take the crucial wicket of Collins Obuya, departing without scoring. And that's it. There must be something happening here. It seems he's calling it all for his career. What a moment for him. Not the way he wishes he had finished this one. But we can see the entire Ugandan team running to him to wish him farewell. He's done well for Kenya. He's carried things through for them. The man will be respected around the world, and even most importantly in Africa. It's Collins Obuya who will be bowing out of international cricket today.
Collins Obuya will walk off the park as a batter one more time, and he shall receive a standing ovation with tears coming down his face as he is celebrated by his teammates and everybody else that he's played against. What a sight and what a moment. A very illustrious career that Collins Obuya has had, 42 years of age, the man. And I tell you, he started out quite early in his career. He's got 75 matches that he's played for the nation besides this one. Strike rate of 120 that he finished with a high score of 96, 10 50s under his belt. He's done well, 1,794 runs that he has had to his name.
What a time to finish, and the show of respect by the entire Ugandan team and Kenyan team. Really class. That is what we call the spirit of the game and the beauty it possesses. These are moments we've seen in this tournament.
No better the crease will be Nelson Mandela Odhiambo. And Cosmos, after that wicket taking delivery, comes up with another extra to put a few more runs, a couple rather, on Kenya's scoreboard. How key will that wicket be? Because their opening partnership between Neil Mugabe and Collins Obuya had been instrumental in getting them to this stage of the tournament. And now he's departed early.
A rock solid start here and show of confidence by Nelson. Again, we continue to look at how things have panned out here. Very emotional moments there for the big man, Collins Obuya. We will continue to talk about him. A role model for what most African young cricketers will want to be. Played in those World Cup for Kenya. He's done well. The respect by the entire team. It didn't matter what the numbers were today, but this man has paid his dues and still in the top 5 here, top 2 of the batting chart in this tournament. Happy moments for Ghana cricket with all these things happening around them. The first time cricket is happening in African games. And here, big moments for players retiring on their soil. Plenty of emotions here, even in the comms box. We want to see plenty of him. It's Alpesh who continues for Uganda.
Now Alpesh being brought to start proceedings from the Accra Zoo, and he'll be bowling to Neil Mugabe. Good delivery, quicker one. Gets some bounce off the surface there. Neil Mugabe, 47 runs to his name in the 4 games that he has played. A strike rate of just of 90. Kenya would need to get their thinking caps on really early from here on. They have a mammoth task to go after 207. They shouldn't allow a lot of deliveries to go by without them scoring. 3 dot balls so far. Only 2 runs came off the last over. And Alpesh is continuing to turn the screws in, running through this over. Already 4 deliveries into it.
Plenty of pressure out here. Neil Mugabe just holding back a bit perhaps after that wicket. But it's not been the best of 2 overs. If you ask me, the last delivery from Alpesh.
Maiden over from Alpesh Ramjani. Finishes the second. Kenya 2 for 1. Little bit of mist over Accra. A gentle breeze that is blowing across the stadium. You can see the trees dancing out there. But however, Kenya would want to do a little bit of dancing, but at the moment they're stagnant. 2 overs done, only 2 runs on the board. And they've lost a wicket, not just any wicket, but a big one. Cosmas continues and he's still struggling with his line. He continues to be the only scorer on the board for Kenya at the moment. He scored 3 runs for them.
Brilliant take by the wicket keeper. That could have gone all the way. More runs for Kenya, but he's managed to keep that in play. It's 204 runs required from 18 overs at 11.3 per over. Not the best stats Kenya would have hoped for.
Fizi, you're coming on to the field. I'm sure wicket keeper for Uganda. That's Fred Achilema. Doesn't look too good. And I think he got a knock from the ball. There'll be a concussion test done for him. We'll give Odiambo and Mugabe an opportunity to have a conversation in the middle of the park to try and see what they can strategize about how they're going to navigate the remaining 4 overs of this power play, because currently looking for 204 of 18 remaining overs at a run rate of 11.3. That's a huge total to ask for. 12 deliveries have already gone by, and they have not put any runs on the board with the bat. So they need to strategize quickly and look to execute those plans. However, Uganda will be happy with the way that they have started so far. Picked up a huge wicket. A man who has called a time on his international career. It's Colin Zabuya, who should look to clinch the batter of the tournament with the number of runs that he scored so far. Stand corrected. Roger Mukasa is now the leading run scorer. 230 runs to his name. Edged and taken. The man with the magical hand strikes again. Cosmos picks up his second. Finds an outside edge. And the wicketkeeper takes it.
There for take on that first stump line, going above the wicket line, and Nelson chases it and would depart. Tough day here for Kenya and happy moment for Cosmos. It's taking 2 for Uganda. And it was a happy moment for Uganda.
Wow. Cosmos Kouta. Hard length. Outside edge. A regulation catch for the wicket keeper, who had just gone through a concussion test. That goes to show you that he's still very much in it. Nelson Odhiambo departs for naught after just facing 2 deliveries. Everything seems to be working well for Uganda. And so well even for the man that is returning to the side after a long time, laid off by injury. Yes, he's struggling with his lines, but also he's picking up wickets. The first runs off the bat. And as the captain, Rakev Patel, gets off the mark.
Keuta enjoying this moment. And clearly, it's good to come back and taking wickets in the last game for Uganda in these African games. Exciting moments. It will be nice to wear some medals. And big moments for them. They will sure celebrate something. It's been worth the while for the team.
It's a wonderful drive there by Neil Mugabe, but for no runs. He's still yet to get off the mark. He's faced 7 deliveries after this one, and still yet to open his runs account. His team is pretty much pinned against the wall. And they have lost 2 wickets virtually for nothing. Only 4 runs off the board, and of those 4, only 1 is off the bat. Short tries to pull it away, but it'll be fielded by Nakrani.
It will be time for the skipper himself, Rakesh Patel, to try and muzzle out something here and show some attitude in this East African crucial derby. Hopefully he manages to put up some fight here. But it is indeed a tall order, but this is cricket.
It's well bowled again. Cosmos Kouta making up for lost time outside the squad. He's making the ball talk. He's just getting a bit of shape that's coming into the batter, but he's also able just to hit a hard length and keep it straight. That's how Odhiambo got out. Was found fishing for that one.
Craig Williams will be a happy man. I'm here as a batting consultant. We're making runs. We dabbed that through the gully region for a single. Slow start for Rakep and Neil Mugabe. Was scored just a single off a delivery, and that brings us to the end of the 3rd over. It's 6 for 2. A bowling change for Uganda. It's Miyagi who comes into the attack from the zoo end. We must give Master Eli some accolades around this oval. Perhaps he's named them nicely. Skipper Akep will take the first delivery from him.
Finds the edge to pick up a run. Juma Miyagi is brought in to the attack from the zoo end. He's done well in the 4 games that he has played. He's picked up 7 wickets, best figures of 3 for 10. Has been economical there. Powered straight. This will be 4. And that's a clean hit from Neil Mugabe.
Get a ruler and put it from the batter all the way to the boundary. That one creating that room and goes over the umpire's head. Lucky man there.
Percival Cesare had to duck his way out of that one. Man, that was struck straight.
It was going to be sooner or later. Neil will have to step on the gears.
That'll be wide. See, the thing about Kenya's situation, yes, they will need to get out of the blocks, but also you mustn't just do it without a formula. It needs to be a constructed innings. Some worried faces in the Kenyan dugout there, because that total of 207, I tell you, will require a lot from them. There needs to be some sort of belief, some sort of strategy that they need to put together. Straight, and they push for a quick single. And the fumble allows them to quickly complete that one. Ramjani, the guilty party, at Mirov with the fumble.
Interesting to see how Neil is beginning to realize he needs to take things to the Ugandans. Just ensuring his rotated strike in this over. I'm sure the captain clearly would have given those directives.
Well ball, good length as well. Juma Miyagi has done well to come back after being dispatched to the boundary on the second delivery of the over. Good Yorker. Well within the block hole and well dug out, I tell you. It's a good contest that we have here.
That magic delivery right in the block hole there. Well played, Patel. And it looks straight at him.
No, Fred Achilema was watching that from behind the stumps. He gasped and held his head in his hands because he just knows how close that was. It's sneaking under the bat. Cracked into the covers but doesn't come off cleanly. But they're able to scamper for 1. That'll be the end of the 4th over. 14 for 2 after 4.
Could this be the slowest power play we've had in this tournament? 14 from it. 4 overs gone. Trailing at 3.5. Required now is 12 points per over. It's Bilal who comes into the attack from the golf club end of this oval.
Well, when you look at over by over, Kenya 9 runs behind from where Uganda was. They were on 23 for no loss. But those 2 wickets, they make a huge difference. They have slowed the start for Kenya. But however, they shouldn't allow that to bog them down, that they've lost 2 wickets. They need to get some scoring going, because at the start of this, it was 10 runs per over that they needed. Now they're looking at 12.06. Bilal Hassan into the attack from the soccer side end. That'll be 4. That's the first boundary of the game. Straying to the pads and clipped away by Rakeb Patel.
See it again. Straight to the fine leg boundary. Much needed runs for Kenya at this point. The overs tickling away, 189 required.
Good ball by Bilal. North cutter. Making sure to cramp Rakeb Patel of any room to get to free his arms. Rakeb Patel has got 6 wickets in the tournament. He picked up 4 wickets for only 10 runs in the previous game.
Slower delivery, and they will fetch fielder protection there. Just a single.
And that was a full toss. That Rakeb Patel felt that he missed an opportunity to score big on that one. Kenya need to show some intent. And they need to show that they want that bronze medal. In the background, you see the lush forests and the heart of Accra, Nachimota Forest, you say.
It's giving away a single there. Couldn't get hold of that one, but not as bad as one would think, considering the current situation. 6 from that over already, with 2 deliveries to spare. The beauty of the surrounding here. 3 potential cricket pitches there, and 2, we're having such a beauty, a place for a proper cricket tournament, anytime, any day.
Swings across the line, Rakeb Patel. He misses and Bilal Hassan strikes to pick up the 3rd wicket for Uganda. The shot was never there, I tell you.
He decided straight up before the ball came. Didn't really come across that one. He knows it, and that's the end of him for this tournament. He goes for 9 of 11 deliveries with a strike rate of 81.8.
Well, that'll be a sad note, because Rakeb Patel is one of the better batters in the Kenyan side, and his demise just adds on more misery into Kenya's attempt to chase that total of 207. It leaves them at 20 for 3. Well, I'll tell you something. If you're looking at these pictures, the top side of things, the soccer side that you're seeing, before the start of that tournament, both fields were in that state. That just shows you the amount of work that the ground staff has put in on both sides of these 2 fields that we've used in the tournament to make them look so good for us to be able to hold these games here. Good ball, almost sneaking into getting his second of the over. But that's the end of the fifth. It's 20 for 3. It's there, I'm telling you, those images again.
Ella, you were talking about these images and the amount of work that has gone in. We must thank the groundsmen, the support from Zimbabwean cricket, the support from Nigerian cricket, and ICC Africa has been an enduring moment for them. They spent months and months here where they have to exchange groundsmen to ensure that we get the kind of quality we have today.
Definitely we had. We also give thanks to the School of Achimota for giving us an opportunity to have and use their facilities. They've done well with Ghana Cricket Association. Ramjani back into the attack. Smashed away. It's in the gap. Some work in the deep for Dip Wicket to do. Just skips it to 1. Sukhdeep Singh, the wicket keeper, is they knew better at the crease after the depart of Rakesh Patel.
There's always going to be that need to keep going, knowing the quality of batters in this Kenyan lineup. But it's Uganda who are singing now. He goes on the one knee again, but this time finds the fielder.
Well, I know that it's T20 cricket and much of the shots that we play are premeditated, but some of them, they need application. You need to know when to play them and at what situation are you in the game. Because right now, it'll just be the end of Kenya if they were to lose another wicket at this moment.
Beautiful shot, giving that room, and will extend his arms into the gap between goalie and point.
That's great use of his feet. Opening up that offside and piercing through the gap between point and backward point, and picks up a boundary. Sukhdeep Singh opens his account with a glorious boundary. Quick single taken, better. That's good strike rotation. Strike rate of 94 is what Sukhdeep Singh comes with. Higher score of 42. His side will need him to get something similar or better. Seven from the over. As the power play done, it's 27 for 3.
We'll be having change in the comes box. It's Dennis Musali, my very good friend. We've spent some quality 20 days together analyzing and discussing cricket here in the box. Dennis, you're welcome back to the comes box.
Thank you, thank you, Endurance. And Uganda seems to be in a very good place, 27 for 3. Kenya trying to hunt down 207. Maybe after all, third place is not a bad place to finish.
You can say that again. It's Miyagi who comes back. And we'll be looking for a 4th wicket here for Uganda. Neo Mugabe. Big swing and misses that one. Mugabe will have to keep his shape there.
Yeah, from the reactions of Juma Miyagi, I think it missed by inches. Oof, that nearly took out the leg stump. But Miyagi on a comeback, he was part of the team in Sri Lanka, and then he's been able to make sure that the back is now strong enough for him to continue. Hopefully he will be part of the 15 players that go to the World Cup for the Cricket Cranes.
Perhaps just trying too hard here. It's a wide delivery, and Kenya would happily receive those ones.
Yeah, Miyagi now trying to search for that Yorker.
If he just stays consistent on that fourth stump line, it will drift in naturally. But here he's trying too hard. He must know I'm one of his big fans and I want him at the World Cup. That's what we're talking about. They will get a single there, straight to Irish mid-on.
It'll be the second time he's going to the West Indies because he was part of the under-19 team that played there in 2022. So I think if he continues to do well, he might put himself. There are 3 frontline pace bowlers in that team. If you're gonna choose to go with all of them, probably should be able to make the cut. But there are 2 other guys who are back at home who've been playing, who've been competing for the same position. So they're about 5 players, and only 3 will make the final cut.
They will sneak in a single there. I agree with you, Dennis. That's the good thing about having competitive atmosphere in the team. I mean, it's good, it's healthy for the national teams. You don't want anyone dominating and monopolizing the opportunities that are available, but let them continue to contend and have them around, look after them. The most important thing is not throwing any of them away and finding a way to rotate them within the different tournaments. There will be more runs for Kenya. And this will rule all the way. It's a leg by umpire Aino Chabi, happy to reconfirm that.
Yeah, Miyagi needs to understand that he's bowling without a fine leg. And every time there's something just enough to beat Freda Chelam, that ball will race away for a boundary. So he needs to bowl to his field. He's been given a very strong offside field, so he needs to be consistent on that side.
Perhaps the captain will also have to help him out. He's struggling. He's not really bowled those 4 stump line here. He's been drifting into the stumps and going down the leg side slightly. We've seen him do that every time. Maybe just time to bring up the third man and push one down. But again, you are allowed to anyway.
I think if he's bowling the hard length, he might decide to work without the extra cover and just have the fine leg for that ball that is drifting down the leg side for protection. For the quick bowlers, it's just like a comfort zone for them.
Unless they hit him inside out, it's going to be difficult to hit it through that extra cover region. See, everything is going inside and more runs again. Just a bit of thinking there for the captain, Kenneth. Why, sir?
Yeah, Neil Mugabe there putting his butt down a bit late.
Still one delivery to come from this over. Ten from it already. Again, another single down the leg side. And that brings us to the end of the 7th over. It's 38 for the loss of 3 wickets. Kenya presently trailing at 5.4 and over, requiring 13 from here. 169 to win from 13 overs.
Can see the beautiful Achimota ground where we've had bowling change for you. The Cricket Cranes. Henry Senyondo comes into the attack. First one hit down the ground by Neil Mugabe. Had lined it up. I think he was trying to hit it into the zoo.
Soak deep. Kneels and goes down the leg side. The needed runs now. You would expect that Henry will go under the pumps.
Yes, Sukhdeep Singh gets inside the line on the pads there for him. I don't know if these teams do some research endurance. From where we are, throughout this whole tournament, Sukhdeep Singh always goes to that sweep shot. That's his more or less release shot.
This time he cuts it, and this will race all the way through the goalie region for a boundary.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries for Sukhdeep Singh. Width on offer from Henry Senyondo. And this time it's hit behind point for a boundary. 2 boundaries, both sides of the wicket. Better come back there from Henry. Endurance, emotional stuff there when you saw Collins Obuya retiring. Burst onto the scene as a youngster at the 2003 World Cup.
Down the wicket. A catch. The much needed one. Henry would laugh last. And it's Sukhdeep who would depart for 14 after 9.
Good use of the feet there from Sukhdeep Singh, but the direction was missing because he hits that ball straight to the man standing at deep cover. Robbins or Obuya, not Collins, taking the catch. Kenya lose their fourth, 47 for 7. But I was talking about Collins Obuya, who burst onto the scene as a youngster, the 2003 World Cup that was hosted by Kenya, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. 5 for 24 in that game as a leg spinner, but since on he went on to evolve himself and become a batter.
Dennis, I was very emotional that moment when I watched the 2003 World Cup, followed it closely, and saw how Kenya almost went through to that finals, losing to India in the semis. Collins was an integral part of that team. And to see how he's been respected here today, we must give both the Ugandans and Kenyan teams the flowers.
Yeah, Shem Ngoche comes into bat for the Kenyans. He gets off the mark immediately. And that should also conclude the 8th over. Kenya now 48 for 4.
It's Dinesh who comes into the attack. The keeper has had to do a lot here today.
Yeah, throughout the whole tournament, keeping from that side, especially if the bowlers are coming from the field in, has been very, very difficult. A lot of balls drop in front of the keepers. So you need to put your body behind the ball most of the time to just make sure that it doesn't go through.
Full face, Shem Ngoche. Plenty of responsibility for him now. What is he going to do? 159 from 11.4.
Yeah, Kenya went for plenty in the semi-final. They've gone for plenty more in the bronze medal match. They came after the bowling in the game against Zimbabwe, but for now, I think without Collins Obuya, it's been very, very difficult for them to try and hit the ball out of the park.
For every time they've scored big, it's Collins Obuya and Mugabe Nel who have always given them those stats. At the moment, Nel Mugabe is still on 14 of 19 deliveries, perhaps not getting that partnership he requires from the other end. And it's just been wicket around him, 4 of them. Another dot 3 already in this over. Shem will have to rotate strike, find a way, and get off strike.
Yeah, maybe show some courage, show some intent. Did bat when you're chasing down 207. I think you'd rather go down trying than leaving yourself wondering what could have happened.
No run there, no is a call, clearly and loud. This is a very good over for Uganda, and that will bring us to the end of the 9th over. It's 49 for the loss of 4 wickets, still trailing on 5.4 and over. From here, it's 158 that is required from 11 overs at 14.3 per over.
Henry Senyondo will continue bowling from the zoo end. You can see there the Achimota A ground. Just across it is the Achimota B, but the Achimota A has been the main oval. This is the bronze medal match, and coming up in the afternoon will be the gold medal contest. South African affair between Zimbabwe and Namibia.
Big and sweet, juicy moment here for Uganda. They were one of the tops and tipped to have gone all the way to the finals, but here they're looking poised and in a good position to go home with a medal on their necks. Umpire Pacific just ensuring the side screen area is cleared up for Nel Mugabe. Bowled him. That one we will go through the gates. Happy man, Henry. And Nel Mugabe would depart for 14.
Yeah, good comeback for Henry Senyondo, who had gone for quite a couple in his first over. But this time, Nel Mugabe fit nowhere. Doesn't neither go forward nor back on a full delivery. Henry Senyondo clips his off stump. Kenya lose their 5th wicket. Nel Mugabe, you feel, has been taken out of his misery. Pedestrian knock from him, 14 from 21 balls. By his standards, he's been striking it much better. As the teams take a drinks break, Kenya are 50 for 5 after 9.2 overs.
We'll see another change in the comes box. It's the big man himself, the man with plenty of beautiful words, having them enough to describe what cricket is all about. Innocent Ndahula will be back on the mics. And smiley faces there. Ugandans know they are closer and nearer. Dinesh doing that mini dance there.
And just to remind you, earlier today in the innings, as Kenya came out to chase 207, that man, 6-7, Collins Omondi Obuya, a legend of our times, a legend forever. The hugs from fellow legends. Team management of Uganda, Charles Waiswa, played many battles with him. That man, he can take all the water he wants in the world because he's done a lot of mileage on the grounds all over the world. Collins Obuya, the legend.
Yeah, and if you talk about numbers, he will finish on 75 T20 Is, 1,794 runs, highest score of 96, average of 30, and a strike rate of 120. He's played 109 ODIs for Kenya as well, 2,044 runs, highest score of 98. They say numbers, men and women lie, but numbers will never lie. What a career Collins Obuya has had, and what an inspiration he's been for Cricket Kenya. Lucas Nanderson, the vice captain for the Kenyan team, will join Shem Ngoche. 50 for 5 is where Kenya is. They're trying to take down 207. At this stage of the game, you feel that the Ugandans are favorites for that bronze medal. Innocent, welcome to the commentary box.
I am happy, and I'm happy to start off my spell here in the second innings by talking about a man who is a very good friend of me and you, a man who is no stranger to Ugandans, a man who is a legend in Uganda. Leading agent to that one. I wish the producer can give us that moment of Collins Obuya, because this match for me is all about Collins Obuya. Uganda will take the bronze, but the news all over the world today, tomorrow, will be about Collins, the man. A very long career, Dennis. He started out as a 16-year-old. He's the third in that column, and he's got the most runs in a career without 100. It comes to T20 T20 cricket, over 3,800 runs, because there are some T20s he played that are regarded as other T20s and the T20Is. Collins has won so many games for Kenya. He's taken away so many games from Ugandans. And that man Collins, again, Dennis, he broke onto the scene. 2006 World Cup, at the 2003 World Cup at the Nairobi Gymkhana against Sri Lanka, with a sizzling catch at point, and then 5 wickets.
I think his transformation from a leg spinner into a top order batter is the biggest lesson for the young ones. I think when he realized that he may not have a very long career as a leg spinner, he turned into a prolific batter. I think he can go and enjoy his time in the sun. He's done well, and do not be surprised if you see him coaching later on. As he came into this particular game on a back of 3 half centuries. Not able to convert today, but that won't matter at all, because he walks into the sun as one of the legends of Kenyan cricket.
His name will surely be in a good place. Collins had a stint at Warwickshire after that World Cup. There's a chance there. I'm asking and National Krani Kuma there to get out of the line of trouble.
Yeah,
Nakrani is saying I'm in the line of duty.
There was a chance for a run out there, because by the time Achelam picked up the ball, Lucas was still stranded down the wicket. And the Ugandans won't mind the singles, but you're still talking about Collins.
Does well to go around it and cut it off. Too many emotions. trying to go down the wicket. Lucas, it is wides. Shem does beg the umpire, and I know Chabi does know his trade.
Yeah, took a shimmy down the wicket, a very long one there, but I don't know why Dinesh was unhappy, because the ball was way over the batter's head.
No, you don't know the camera which is right. You don't just pass through the camera frame, man. You are a cameraman. You know this.
Cramping him there for room.
Some choice words there from Dinesh to Lucas. I think Lucas is just trying to negate the length by trying to come down the wicket, but it comes down so early, so Dinesh is able to pick it up and just bang it in short. End of the 11th over, 58 for 5, Kenya.
Beautiful sights here you can see in your backdrop there, right behind the tents. The buses are arriving with the big boys. Namibia and Zimbabwe are coming in. That's the man. 5 for 24 against Sri Lanka in Nairobi. Konzo Buya had a stint in Warwickshire and he played for the Africa 11. Collins Obuya. We could say everything about Collins and we won't have enough time if we're only having this match, Dennis.
Straight in front of the captains. Ooh. Very good hit there, pick and throw from Kenneth Waiswa. But Percival Cesara won't raise his finger. I think the intention was there to take the quick one. That's why Shem was in very safely. Not difficult to turn your body. Good decision by Percival, because Shem was well in. Yeah, Collins, really, truly a legend. I'll give you a gig, Innocent. Let's go and write his memoirs. I think the both of you will be able to pick something out of his career. He's had a very, very long and interesting career.
First time I talked to Collins to give me the permission and then to find out who is bankrolling that big autobiography. Finest of edges there, beats the keeper to roll away, but it plugs. And Salpesh Ramjani going round it. I beg your pardon, it's Nakurani going round it to cut it off.
Henry Senyondo getting some patches out of the wicket.
Some few words there. Tell him to Lucas, telling him it's turning big. Watch it. And it exactly does that.
Yeah, some turn and bounce. Again, another outside edge. But in the African games, I've seen some legends call time on their careers. In the ladies' version, another good servant of cricket, but in specific, works it in the vacant mid-wicket region. They will think about 2, and they should be able to get 2. Ooh, good shot. The stumps here from Alpesh Ramjani. But in the ladies' version, Blessing a team calling time on her career as well. So the African games have been a delight, but also have been an end, have been a start for some careers and an end for others. Blessing a team calling time on her career for Nigeria, and now Collins Obuya calling time on his career.
Tell you, Dennis, there were so many tears in that Nigerian huddle as Blessing a team called it a day. Her and her mentor there, Sarah Bakita Wetote, Kenyan legend, were unstoppable as tears rolled down their cheeks. But those are tears of joy. We saw the same with Collins. And I can tell you, I can confess, as I have grown older, I've also become very emotional. I don't know why. Tears were rolling down my cheeks as well. No wailing, but just tears rolling down, remembering all the good things Collins Obuya has done to mentor people and be a role model for many guys who want to play like him. And the entertainment he's given us all over the world, nobody will forget that 96, 98 he got against Australia. Guys bowling 145 clicks to him and was looking in fine photo as he dispatched boundaries after boundaries.
Yeah, the plan here clearly from Lucas is try and come down the wicket for Dinesh. Not working so far. They are trying to outsmart each other. Dinesh, every time he sees him down the wicket, he's trying to push it into his feet.
Can be out because of the angle Dinesh is using to bowl. There is your favorite, Dennis, your friend.
Yeah, been educated by the South Africans. That's a traditional cup for the Ndebele people and the Zulu people. The bowling coach there for the Zimbabwe team. You're ready here for action.
They will start that match as favorites. Zimbabwe, they have been flawless. If it is a river, it has been as long as the River Nile from Egypt to Uganda in Jinja. These guys have picked up victories whenever they have wanted. And someone was joking that they will always win whenever they want. It's in the air. Does it carry all the way to the boundary? No, it doesn't.
High standards from the National Crani. Not happy with Simon Cesars, who's running in from the boundary. I think if he was, even if they are 5 wickets down, let's finish them off by going through our processes correctly.
And that is the mentality. If you do certain things, bad habits do catch up with you easily. You want to keep it clinical. Very well picked up and deposited for a big mighty 6 by that big left-hander. Lucas Oroch.
Yeah, that's what Lucas has been looking for. Lines him up well. Ball in the slot. And it's hit over the Nesh's head for half a dozen. A shot out of anger finally out of this Kenyan innings.
They need many more of those. They need now 19 runs every over. Going from here. Again, Lucas being very wise, not staying deep in his crease, just continuing to shuffle around. This time he gets an inside edge onto that one in the vacant region, and this canter throw for 1.
End of the 13th over, 74 for 5 Kenya. I'll tell you, Innocent, in the context of things, 207 is always a psychological total. And if you're pegged back in a situation where you're 10 for 2, it's always very difficult to recover from that because you're playing catch-up. We saw that when they were trying to chase down 190 against Zimbabwe, they kept their wickets together. Neil Mugabe and Collins Obuya came after the Zimbabwean bowling. The difference here has been that they lost some very quick wickets. And without Collins' runs at the top of the order, it's been difficult for Kenya to make a charge for it.
Misfortune for the bowler, Henry Senyondo, and that type of shot and the way the ball continues to roll away to the boundary before it's cut off is the full story of how things have gone for Senyondo in this tournament. What a week it has been for him.
Yeah, Lucas has been scoring runs against Henry Senyondo only in that zone. He hasn't hit anything in front of him. So maybe the captain needs to move around the short third man to be a lot finer.
In the air, down the line, 1 run. The electric throw is in from Cosmas Cheuta.
Good purchase off the wicket there from Henry Senyondo. Opens up Shem Ngoche. Now it's starting to look like a procession to the finishing line. Kenya need close to 20 runs every over.
Slapped very hard down the ground. Does it go to the boundary? They work in pairs and cut it off. Bilal and Cosmas chasing and hunting in pairs. One of the basics taught by fielding coaches. Uganda execute it. Again, their leading edge. Uganda's bowling continues to tow around with the Kenyans. Better over and tidy from Senyondo as he wraps up his spell here. One ball left. He has wickets today. He hasn't had many. And he ends up with a dot ball. Ending on a high for a man who started slowly in this tournament. His left arm orthodox. Henry Senyondo. 2 for 25 his figures in 4 overs as Kenya reach 80 for 5 after 14.
Yeah, in your image there you can see, even on your screen you can see the heat. It's been shearing hot in Accra for the teams 10 days, for the rest of us about 20 days. So the temperatures have not been very kind. But you have to feel that the players have put on a show in both editions of the African Games. The ladies started it off with Zimbabwe winning gold, South Africa finishing second, taking silver, and Nigeria upsetting the odds by defeating Uganda and taking the bronze medal. But in this particular bronze medal match, which is the curtain raiser for the final, Uganda seemed to be in charge because Kenya need 21 runs in the next 6 overs if they're going to pick up victory.
And here's Mr. Juma. Shuffle across wide. Shame on strike. And asking Lucas, how did I miss out on free runs there?
Execution not on for him. The idea very good, but he just didn't get his body low enough for him to be under the ball and make any connection. And immediately the captain realizing that Juma needs more protection down the leg side. So Henry Senyondo, who was infield, is told to go down. Good Yorker there from Juma.
To the block hole. Some footwork needed from the two. They avoid the collision, and that is sensible. Let Kenya take the run. Let's stay fit. Already 2 of the players have been crocked. Masawa still out. He didn't play in the semi-final and hasn't turned up in the bronze medal match. But Roger Mukasa is back on the park fielding. Good signs, good news coming from the physio's table. Shamim Nasali working overtime.
Yeah, Roger Mukasa, team man, is not the kind who will be on the physio's table for very long if he can go out there and put in a shift for his team.
Forcing the Yorker. Uganda have given us so many extras in this game. I don't know if it's the mentality of it being the fact that they got many and they were able to prize out early scalps.
Yeah, I think they've been a touch generous because of the total. Trying out a couple of things, and Juma Miyagi's been one of the guilty parties.
He's been looking for that, and look at this. Chance for a run out. The backup is good from that man nicknamed Kenzo.
Yeah, very good cricket all round. The single taken very quickly by the Kenyans, but Juma Miyagi got to the ball in a flash. Nearly took out the stumps, but oh, I think Lucas was safely in. But look at the backup there from Kenneth White, for the starting captain.
Good fielding there. Obias grown into this team. The consistency is what he will need to work on, because as a player coming into the side, it is very hard for the selectors to bet an eyelid when you falter twice or you play responsibly. The mainstays always get away with some things, but for you, as a guy who's working your way into the ranks, you gotta work.
They'll pick up a single. And I correctly said it, Innocent. When you're a batter, you're judged by the number of runs that you score. Runs is your only currency that will keep you in the side. Sometimes as an all-rounder, you can get in because of a good bowling performance, but as a batter, and maybe there are a couple of places in that team that are still up for grabs. So whenever you get an opportunity, it's important that you make it count. Yesterday, the other day, Lutaya didn't get so many, so he's out of the team, and Robinson comes in and puts in a cameo. Timber. Juma Miyagi comes up with the breakthrough. Lucas Nanderson, his cameo comes to an end. 19 from 18 balls.
That's the delivery there. Juma Miyagi has been going wide, but he gets some straight, and then click, bang. The middle stump is uprooted. Bullseye moment there for Uganda. Picture perfect.
I think most of you can see the drone shot there of the Achimota ground. So beautiful. So very well done there by the production team. Beautiful shot of the Achimota Air Ground, where we are playing on the final day of the African Games. Can look at that again from Juma Miyagi. He's been searching for that Yorker. Uproots middle stump. That sort of deliveries, that's how you bowl to, bowlers who can bat or tail-enders, because they will be properly challenged by that sort of quality. Juma Miyagi has picked a lot of wickets with that particular ball. But Uganda will get another medal today. Yesterday, the Ugandan Hippo boys finishing second behind the host Ghana. Bronze medal it will be for the Cricket Cranes.
In the block hole, how did that one miss? Mr. Emmanuel Bundi Ringera, former vice captain of Kenya, former under-19 captain, I beg your pardon, somehow manages to keep it out. 86 for 6 after 15. Tell us about yesterday at the stadium.
I think yesterday an amazing experience. Just cheering on the Ugandan Hippos as they took on the Black Star Starlets. But I think in all fairness, the home team deserved to win. That stadium, the Accra Stadium Sports Facility, was filled to the rafters with a lot of home support. Clutch goal in the 90-plus minute to deflate the Ugandans. You can see there the drone shot of the Achimota ground. Amazing work here by the production team. Alpesh Ramjani coming into ball for Uganda from the zoo end. But I'll tell you, I think the win at the end of the day was football. Some very quality football played by both sides. Uganda finishing with silver. And today they might pick up another team medal in case they're able to defeat Kenya. Kenya, with every dot ball that Uganda get right now, the run rate keeps going up. 25, close to 26 runs needed every over.
Accra Sports Stadium then is just easily like a smaller version of Nambole. The sweep, the appeal. Nothing given. It's the one run for the Kenyans.
Yeah, nothing given. Alpesh Ramjani, the leading wicket taker in the tournament, on 13 scalps. That's before Decision not given there by Percival. We'll get another single ticket to the leg side, to the fine leg region. Alpesh on 13, but Owen Muzondo of Zimbabwe not very far from him on 10. Owen is coming up in the afternoon against the Namibians, and I think he's been top quality. Picked up 2 Player of the Match awards.
And Alpesh listens to you. He says, I'll get one more, make it tougher for Owen Muzondo. Timber for Uganda. Cricket Cranes now itching ever so close to the first ever medal they'll ever win at the African Games on cricket's maiden showing.
It's difficult to understand what Emmanuel Bundi was trying to do. The ball is right there in the slot and he went across the line. An easy wicket there for Alpesh Ramjani. Takes him to 14 wickets in the tournament. He has had an indifferent tournament with the bat, but has been rock solid with the ball. He's been the enforcer at the top of the order. He's picked up wickets whenever he has come up. He has come back later on. I think he's done very well. He will just have some soul searching to do with his batting form. Kenya 88 for 7 after 15.5.
And here is number 9, a man from Nakuru. Good with the ball, Peter Langat Kowech, the Nakuru Express. Gives it a full face. Kenneth Waiswa, busybody. He's captained this team in the last 2 matches. Said as much as why he knows the fans are not happy with the team. But he said the players are hurting more. And he said, we'll come back and bounce and we'll deliver. We'll know the crowds will still roar for us in Logogo, Chambogo, Jinja, Soroti, Entebbe. And that's what they have done today. Put on a display, a masterclass with the bat, Uganda.
Yeah, I think the team needs to learn that the reaction from the fans all comes from a very good place. After qualifying for the World Cup, the standard also has to go up a bit. The standard and the expectation goes up. So it's all love, and the fans know, and some of the players on this team are personal people, so they know. Cosmas back into the attack to replace Juma Miyagi. Cosmas Cheuta also on the comeback trail. He's been out with the back injury, but he's clearly showing signs that he is on the recovery path, and he's done well in this tournament. In this particular game, has picked up 2 wickets and given away just 7 runs, as he continues to impress the selectors and the rest of the technical team. I think he's done no damage to his reputation.
Let's see if he can go through the gates of Shem Goche here with some blistering pace.
That will hurt. You can clearly see there Shem in a bit of pain.
Ugandans and Achelam, they are sharing some banter with Shem, asking him, are you all right, mate? Can we call our physio? Do you need a massage? Full face of the bat from Shem Goche, who gets a 4.
Yeah, wrong lines there from Cosmas to Shem. I thought it just needs a lot more protection. A full face that Shem just hits back down the ground. There will be no chance for the player at long on to cut it off. If he wants to bowl that line, maybe Cosmas need to make sure that Bilal goes down.
Saying I'll not come any closer to you with the way you're swinging. It's a dot ball. 31 needed going on from here. Make that 32.
Yeah, a mammoth task for Kenya. I think Uganda probably won this game in the first innings. They were very brave with the bat and put on a very big total. That has put them in a very, very good position.
Top of off. Textbook line. Cosmas Cheuta gets his third. And Shem has got to go.
Yeah, Shem swinging across the line. And the off stump takes a walk. But you could see in that celebration, Cosmas Cheuta signaling to Bilal Hassan. The senior statesman, I think, gave him some nuggets of wisdom. And he was able to knock over the Shem Ngoche. Shem, well constructed 19 from 26 balls. At least has pushed this total to a respectable number. You can see the beautiful Achimota ground. Just on the other end where you see part of the forest. I'm sure that's where the animals are because that's a zoo end. But such a lovely place it has been for the African Games for the last 21 days. Beautiful shot of what amazing work here by the production team.
Amazing work by the Podgal group for the African Games. And ITW guys have been here working every day. The logistics and everything they are within. Chance for a run out. Keeper onto it quickly. They look at each other, the two. Vishil Patel and Kowech says, let's get onto the same network. One on Safaricom and another one on Airtel Kenya.
17 overs gone. Kenya now 94 for 8. And from here on, it's just the bowlers. We're into the tail proper. 2 more balls. Uganda will take gold. Will take bronze. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's just the bronze medal for the Ugandans because the gold medal contest is coming up between Zimbabwe and Namibia.
Ella is back here in the comms box and it will be a trio to take you through to the very end of this one. Eli, welcome back.
Thank you, Innocent. Our push from Johnny. Bowling his last over. Reverse sweep. Missed totally.
I think the bowlers now trying to have some fun.
Well, if you have to go hard, go down swinging.
Eli, if you're the coach, I'm sure that will always be that is always your style. That if we are going down, we are going down swinging.
There's no point to hang around, Dennis. There's no point in hanging around. Get out there, do that, and who knows? You can get a couple of runs onto the board. You will feel good about yourself and your efforts in trying to score. Sometimes scoring runs the conventional way may be hard, but these innovative shots, they come off.
I think personally you tell us you've batted a bit in the tail. Sometimes I think these tail enders, those are thought you always see batters trying to play against you in the nets, and you're like, when I get my moment, I'll also do some of that.
Neatly done. Covered well.
Nothing personal, I am a top order batter.
Yeah.
So
I hear
know
you.
nothing about this experience.
But however, what I would say is look for scoring opportunities. This is not a test match. Ramjan has done well. 4 overs that he'll be completing in the next 2 deliveries. He's picked up 1 wicket at the cost of only 13 runs. Kenya never looked to be in this contest, if we're to be honest. Johnny is the leading wicket taker of the tournament, 13 so far, and he will finish the tournament as number 1 for now, with 13 wickets to his name, best figures of 17 for 4. But in this particular game, he finishes with figures of 13 for 1 in 4 overs. So it'll be 18 overs down. It's 97 for 8. Our clock still stuck at 12 midday.
Could it be showing New Zealand time? Well, these are some of the sights and sounds of Achimota School as Cosmas comes through for over number 19. It's in the air. He says quarter. Anyone underneath? Underneath it is Kenneth Waiswa. He gets his name into the scorebook for the right reasons. With a good catch, Kenneth.
Well, Peter Kocha will depart, looking to go over mid-on. But there was intent there. The execution of the shot, not there.
Yeah, I think just never got it. The idea was a good one, trying to go over infield. Kenneth Waiswa was standing in. The ball was right in the slot, but not enough height to go over Kenneth Waiswa. Cosmas picking up a 4th wicket, 4 for 11 for him. Deciding the play of the match today, I think is going to be difficult. There have been a lot of very good contributions from the Ugandans. 3 half centuries in their innings. And now Cosmas Chewuta 4 for 11. Two half centuries, my apologies, not 3. Simon Sesazi and Dinesh Nakrani. Why was I thinking Roger and Robinson had gotten half centuries?
Probably you saw the big sixes that they were hitting and thought they had taken them over the 50 mark.
The younger Nav Patel joins Vishal Patel out in the middle. 2 boys who've been promoted from the Kenya Under-19 team and given the step up.
Young man gets off the mark. What we've seen from Kenya in this tournament is the infusion of young bowlers into the senior side, but the homework that they have from here on is the inclusion of young batters, because batting has been their struggle. They really didn't have anyone to carry them after Neil Mugabe and Collins left. So that's the homework that they need to go back and look at and see how they can revamp their side.
Yeah, now especially that Collins has left the stage. It's going to be important that they find someone to fill that void and carry on from here on.
An illustrious career for Collins Abuya. And someone will need to step into those big shoes.
They still have some experience in Rakeb Patel, but ultimately there should be someone for the long haul.
Scramble for 1. Good figures for Cosmas Chewuta.
I don't know if the bowlers ever have this on the back of their minds, like batters that have picked 4 wickets and you keep trying to get a 5er.
Well, as a bowler, you keep counting. Sometimes you might overcount, think I've already gotten to 5, when they'll tell you, no, hold on, mate, still need 1 more. And then you're just asking, can I have just 1 more over? However, not to be, Cosmas will finish the tournament with figures of 4 for 12 in his allotted 4, which is a good show. Don't know if there's anybody who's got better figures in the 3rd and 4th match place playoff. I say this looking at the latest tournament, because in this one he's done well. 4 for 12 and 4.
Yeah, there will be no one, I'll tell you, because Cosmas will finish with the best bowling figures of the tournament, 4 for 12. Only 5 wickets for him throughout the whole tournament. But for a man who's been out for the last 8 months, this has been a very good comeback tournament for him.
And I can tell you, Dennis, as well, today is the first time Cosmas has bowled his full allotment of 4 overs, because the coach was saying would like to use him sparingly and gauge his bounce back ability.
Juma Miyagi will bowl the final over of this curtain raiser.
Very well said. It's the curtain raiser of the big do. Zimbabwe already in the building with Namibia. It's going to be a battle of the birds. The Richelieu Eagles up against the Chevrons for the gold. Nobody remembers second best in sport, and no one will remember the silver. It's a gold medal match that must live up to its billing. You can, of course, hear just going through the possessions. Those are the big boys in town. Jonathan Campbell, Brian Bennett. They're on picture with Mr. Stephen Mangongo. I see a couple of the young boys there. Takuzwa. Captain Clive Mandande, already plastered up. He's going to do some keeping duties today. He came back onto the park when things weren't going right for his team against Kenya in the semi-final. And, well, he ruled the roast. In the zone, Vishil is trying to go for a biggie here. He looks like one of the spinners who turn up for training earlier than the rest and does a lot of batting.
I like the way Juma Miyagi is bowling to this tail. If there was something in that wicket, you know, try and bowl a bouncer as well. But I always like it when quick bowlers come in here, not bowling slower balls to tail enders. You give them the shearing hit.
Good shot, chance for a catch. Didn't stick. Would have been a very good athletic effort from Robinson Obuya.
That nearly made the highlights package from Robinson Obuya. Threw himself at it. There was Ruiz on offer. And was also hit with some power from Vishil's bat. We'll find out if Anav Patel was happy with that single because he's on strike for Juma Miyagi.
Young Anav didn't have the best of days with the ball today, but his reputation is intact. 5 for 13 against South Africa. He was the man that turned tables and had tongues wagging in this tournament. Kudos to you, the 18-year-old Anav. Your career is only just getting started.
Yeah, I think what the Ugandans did well against him was to just make sure they put him under the pump immediately. And the captain withdrew him out of the attack, maybe to try and protect him, but there was never an opportunity to bring him back.
It is a game, set and match. Uganda have successfully dragged themselves from the death of defeat in the semi-final. A campaign that it looks good on paper, but will only be good enough for bronze. 5 matches they have played, lost 1 match, but they are not in the final. They will take consolation with the bronze.
Yeah, Uganda coming up with a performance, 106 runs. They defeat the Kenyans. Happy faces finally for the Ugandans and hugs all around, because now Uganda will go home with the bronze medal. They defeat their East African neighbors, Kenya, in the bronze medal contest.
You can look at it again and look at it. Handshakes all around the Ugandan park. They believe they came up a cropper against Namibia when they needed to deliver. They took some hair dryer treatment from their coaches, from their management, from their officials here. They have bounced back and again defeated Kenya. It's the men in yellow, black and red flying over the lions that are not roaring from Kenya, who've got the big 5 in red and green and black. Victory for the Ugandans here. Bilal Hassan showing the cameraman, we're doing this for the badge. It's all that matters. We want to leave the badge in a good place when we are long gone. And again, we want to remind you, we are a World Cup team. That man at Chelam telling you we'll be calling you at home because we have a bronze medal. And maybe the government officials are here in Achimota watching this. They will have something to say to the boys. A pack from the government. They are anticipated and expected.
Yeah, Uganda expected to contest for the gold, but they get a consolation in the bronze medal after defeating Kenya by 106 runs. Some consolation there for the team interim head coach Jackson Ogwang and his charges. Happy man for him. I can see him, he can afford a smile for today. He was inconsolable in that semi-final defeat, but today is a happier man, and happy faces all round for the Ugandans as they are able to make sure they do the business and come up with a performance in this third and fourth playoff, which is a curtain raiser for what is coming up in the afternoon. South African final, Zimbabwe taking on Namibia.
The batting scorecard for the match: 25 for Roger Mukasa. Sesazi with a half century, the 16th in his career. Robinson Lumbia 28. Nakrani 50 for him, just the third. And that is the one for Kenya.
Yeah, the Kenyan batting scorecard. Once Uganda were able to deal very cheaply with the top, there was nothing left for them. Just a partnership there from Shem Ngoche and Lucas Nanderson, the vice captain, tried to make sure that the score is respectable, but thereafter there wasn't so much about their batting. Today the Kenyans very pedestrian with the bat, and they were only able to finish on 100 for 9 in their 20 overs.
And the bowling for Uganda today, Cosmas Cheuta opened the bowling and led from the front, 4 for 13. Henry Senyondo picked up 2 for 25. Leading bowler of the tournament, Alpesh Ramjan with 1 for 13. Miyagi 1 for 22. Hassan 1 over 1 for 6. And then Nakrani not with the wicket, but Uganda were generous with the extras as Kenya coasted to 100 for 9 in the allotted 20 overs. 15 extras to that total to make it 100. And it's Uganda who pick up the bronze medal here at the debut showing of the cricket at the 13th edition of the African Games here in Accra, Ghana. Uganda win by 106 runs. And that's the summary for you. Uganda batting fast, getting 206. They were in batting in one gear after another, boundary after boundary. Top 3, 66, 51 and 28. And then the batting for Kenya didn't come up with that big man, Mr. Colin Zomondo Buya, calling it a day as a cricketer. Cosmas Cheuta with 4 for 13. And it's Uganda who win by 106 runs. We will be joining our mate, Endurance Ofem, with the post-match presentation.
Good afternoon and welcome to the post-match presentation. It's the end of the third and fourth place match between Uganda and Kenya. It was Uganda who won the toss, elected to bat, and scored 206 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in 20 overs. Kenya scored 100 for 9 in 20 overs. And we would like to invite the captain of the Kenyan side. Patel, hard luck there. You weren't quite happy when you lost the toss. What were you expecting? Take us through your emotion. Tough day here.
I just thought we gave away too many runs at the end. The last 4 overs we gave around 75 to 80 runs, which costed us the game. I thought on that pitch 150 was a chasable score, but I think the Ugandans batted really well at the end.
Well, hard luck there. We saw some emotions earlier today. I mean, the big man, Colin Sobuya, having a chat with the youngsters, teaching Patel to bowl it up. Good to you are his captain. How do you feel? You must give him some flowers. 21-year career and it's ending today.
Yes, it's a very big, long career. We wish him best of luck after here, but he served Kenya. Those 21 years, we felt it. We've enjoyed every bit with him, and it's good that he's left on a high.
All the best.
Thank you.
Well, before I call the captain of the winning side, I would like to give this honor to the man himself, Colin Sobuya. A round of applause. Collins, please. Collins, well, you're finishing now. It wasn't just you alone about the emotions. Trust me, in the comms box, we were near crying because some of us have followed your career. You want to take us through those tough times? 2003 at the World Cup, we saw you.
I just want to thank everyone, my teammates and my family to be there for me in hard times and good times. And I just want to be proud of myself to be having to play that long, and I don't regret it anyway. It has been a lovely career for me, and the achievement that I've achieved, I'm a very proud man about my career.
Well, before you go, one last one. I will say thank you very much for what you've done for cricket in Kenya and in associate world. Are we going to be seeing you around? Certainly, we need your help to help develop youngsters here.
Yes, I'm going to be concentrating on the coaching back home, back home, and that is really good for cricket.
All the best, Collins. Once again, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, we'd like to call the captain, Kenneth Waiswa. Happy man, Skip. 2 days ago, you weren't too happy. 206 runs. Certainly some positive cricket from your team. Take us through it.
Yeah, I think we went back and assessed ourselves. Our batting wasn't good the other day. We just talked about being positive from get-go, and you saw what happened when we were positive.
Well, I know you wanted a gold medal, but here you have a medal. How important is this for Ugandan cricket?
Yeah, it's very important for us to live here with a medal. We wanted the gold one, but we didn't get that. But we are proud to have won the bronze, and yeah, the boys are happy because of the way they played today.
All the best, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Yes, we would like to call on Mr. Godfrey Kofi Tando. He will be helping us with the Player of the Match award. Mr. Kofi, ex-international for Ghana Cricket. A round of applause, please. We had many contenders. Simon Sasese, 66 runs off 44 balls. Dinesh Nagrani, 51 of 21. And the Player of the Match goes for the man who took 4 for 13 in 4 overs, Cosmos Kewuta. Hey, Cosmos, congratulations. There's a talk about your injury being away and your comeback. How do you feel today?
I feel very happy coming back and representing my country in all Africa games. And I feel proud representing my country.
So what would you have to say to your teammates who set the game up 206 runs and giving you that platform?
Yeah, I will first thank my coaches for the meeting they did with the batsmen and they pulled up their stockings. They acted today as they had to do. Yeah, and that's why we scored much runs.
Well, Cosmos, once again, congratulations and all the best.
Thank you.
Well, that's the news from here at the post-match presentation. Don't go away. The big one coming, Zimbabwe versus Namibia.